First of all, a very good evening, good afternoon. In fact, good day. Good day, everyone. How's everyone doing? Um, Glad for you to join us here for this Miami GP, a GP that came alive in the last five laps. You know, but it is what it is. Yeah. Um, Congratulations to wait. Let me one again. Let me check. Okay, yeah. Verstappen. I have to check who they won. King of the streets. Well, yeah, we're debating it here yesterday. Oh, somebody said Perez is the king of the streets. The way he manages his tires, this that. He's still the same. It's not that we manage tire. When and Verstappen is coming. It's not that we save the tire. Okay, let's not be deceiving ourselves here. No problem. But yeah, congratulations to Verstappen. Um, Perez, congratulations to him. P2. But what anyway? Let me just. In terms of Perez, I don't want to hear championship from his mouth. When he's talking about championship, he should be talking about his featuring. When I mean his featuring, is helping. You understand? Is helping them. Is helping Max because it did not even open in terms of when he was leading. It was not up to 2-3 seconds gap. Verstappen came, overtook him, 2 corners after 5 tenths, a lap after 2 seconds, and then the race is ending 5.384. It's not that guy. Let's be real. He's a good what do you call it? He's a good support. You know, he's a good pillow. He's a good crutches. He's not that guy. He's not that guy to win the championship. But yeah, it's not. I think it's too early to start cooking players. But moving on, Mercedes. I'm not gonna lie. This is a good result for Mercedes. Because personally, um, P4, P6. Yeah, not bad. We couple with where Hamilton qualified yesterday. It was obviously going to be a tough job. You know. George, impressive drive actually from both drivers. Not only George. Hamilton making up how many places? I believe about 7 places, and then George 2 places. Almost in the podium. But yeah, um, overtook Science. So you see, I think when we look at the Mercedes and the Ferrari, if you are going to compare both teams, there seems to be developments in the part of Mercedes. As they've been as I believe this is the okay. They were not closing what do you call it? They weren't closing Baku, but I believe they've had about 3 races now whereby both teams have been close. So there's definitely improvement this season, on the part of what do you call him? On the part of Mercedes. But yeah, Ferrari, Carlos Sainz is quite unfortunate with that 5 seconds and penalty spinning in the pit lane. I don't know why he's doing that. He shouldn't be doing that. But I guess he should know better. And I like the FIA now. This at least if they are enforcing one thing, this speeding in the pit lane, they are being very consistent with it. So I will not say credit to them because it's their job, but yeah, kudos. You know. Okay. Magnussen. As we all know, Gunther has threatened him that he has 5 races. and he's already proven his boss wrong. Now you can't fire me. I leave when I leave. So yeah. Credit to Magnussen for making that point. Yeah, and both Alpines, as at during the weekend, they would seem to be the. I think I said yesterday that they were like the third fastest car. But coming into the race, Hamilton that struggled in the beginning. I personally, beginning of the race, you you would not have expected Hamilton to make this progress with the way he was complaining and lamenting. I don't know whether that was part of the theatrics now that he's doing in this new midfield area. You understand? You just start complaining that the car is doing one way, the guy is the right. Well, okay, but yeah, Alpine. I don't know. They keep fluctuating, just like stocks, but hopefully they can get their acts right. But yeah, credit to both drivers finishing in the points. P8, P9, but with the way Otman has been talking, you have to. You say you have to grab him by the balls. Sorry, if you're under 18, but you have to grab him by the balls. He said they are meant to be challenging for P2 in the constructors. P8, P9 is not challenging for P2 in the constructors, if we're being honest. So I believe Otman has some questions to answer, but yeah, credit to both drivers, and let's hear from everyone. Thank you guys. Okay, so let's have Daniela, Papi, Catrock, Tohib, um, Boya, and yeah, we'll go in that order. So guys, please just obviously because of time, so if we can just be conscious, that there's someone behind you waiting to speak. So yeah, thank you guys. Thank you. Um, Daniela, please go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, I don't know. This race, it didn't. I don't know. It didn't. It didn't give what it was meant to give because when we were coming, they were like, "Oh, red flag, DNF, yellow." We did not even see one yellow flag. We just saw blue flag, and that was it. I kept. If I'm honest, I kept willing. I said, "De Vries, you're already last. Help us." At some point, I was like, Hamilton just needs a safety car. De Vries, what are you doing? You are the new Latifi. Do your work. Do your job. Why? Going to be jobless too. The F4 drivers, the F3, F2 drivers, they are looking at you and they are even convinced. They are just whispering into Helmut Marko ear, unemployment. That's all that's happening. So the Vries didn't really give what he was meant to give to the Miami Grand Prix, but shall we forgive him? But really, for Mercedes, with everything, I was really worried when they were leaving Lewis out. But knowing that they put him back on the medium car to come through the pack, a really good strategy. Well done to George Russell as well. The only thing I'll say to George, you see how Lewis lets you go. You see what you two, no problem. George, are you watching? Are you seeing? No problem. We'll revisit this matter another time. But I'm really happy for Mercedes, not the result that we would have expected, especially Lewis being out of place in P13. As Nubong says, Leclerc continues to be called to the barriers. I don't know, maybe somebody has going to tie his destiny to one barrier, being Monzo, that needs to be released. I don't know, but it's very unfortunate for Ferrari. And currently, Mercedes are third in constructors. They are, I think, 4 points away from Aston Martin, and they are pulling away from Ferrari. So this is not where we expected Mercedes to be at all. So they're still in it. They are maybe Red Bulls away, but in terms of Aston Martin, they're still there. And with Lance Stroll not performing, Alonso can keep getting these podiums, but as the car develops better, as Mercedes makes progress, hopefully we'll see more fighting at the front. I don't think Miami was as exciting as it could have been. But yeah, I think altogether, I'm really happy with the result for Mercedes. The team did well in the strategy this time, and we'll see what happens next one. As for Nick de Vries, I just don't know. I mean, you are already at the back, and then you are under investigation before the end of lap one. Under investigation? Just drive. Oh, and shout out to Yuki to know that he was on the verge of the points. You see, the person who is bringing maturity, the person who is leading the team, we are seeing it. They are doing their talking on the track. Anyway, that's me. I'll let everyone talk and then we'll continue discussing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Daniela. It just shows that age is just a number.
Age is just a number. Oh.
Thank you. Papi, please go ahead.
All right. Good evening, everyone. I think it was really good race. I think we said yesterday that Max was going to win. There was no safety car, but I mean, like you said, Checo is not that guy, right? He's a good wingman. Max is that guy, right? If anybody had any iota of doubt, I think he has silenced everybody. And the fact that I pointed to that number one on the car, shows he's number one in the team, he's number one in the grid and everything, right? So the championship is Max to lose, to be honest, right? He's on course. Checo won't mount the challenge. King of the streets, few places, but yeah, he won't mount the challenge. So um I think apart from that, De Vries, man, I don't think that guy's going to last to the end of the season. From nowhere, hit Lando from behind. I don't think he's just not. It's the Latifi of the season, right? Mercedes, I think, really good recovery today. But I think all in all, the main thing was that Max won from P9. Checo can never do that, right? So, yeah, that would be all for my end. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Papi. Just very quickly, the person that De Vries is owing, because I know it was only one man that sponsored his racing career. I hope you have paid him because okay. But yeah, moving on. I believe we have Miss Catrock.
I wasn't even paying attention. Hello. Hi everybody. Hope everybody is good. Yeah, I mean, it was an all right race. Congratulations to Red Bull. I do feel that the end of the race was engineered a bit in Max's favor. They were making sure that he was within the range, that 18-second range, so that he could come out ahead. But I guess that even if they didn't do that, he had the fresher tires, so there's not a lot that Perez could do. I just think that the problem with Perez is that he's number one in the number two business. I'm gonna have to make peace with that because he's clearly not number one business, because he doesn't seem to have that extra bit of oomph that propels him into that number one spot firmly and gives Max a run for his money. With regards to Mercedes, I'm pleased that the car seemed to have worked today. Better than usual. We're in the points, both cars. We're in good points for the championships, and Lewis came from 13 and ended up, I think it was P6. So yeah, very, very good. Um, yeah. I mean, it was a bit of a boring race, but it was okay.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Catrock. Much appreciated. Booyah, let's go. Thank you.
Well, go on, gang. So today's race was on my own part. I think I enjoyed the Hamilton recovery, though the first part of the race was dull. I think that was down to the fact that the track was green, And for Checo, honestly speaking, I didn't like the fact that he started on those mediums. Like it was always going to put him at the point of the bad part. And when they asked Honor said that the simulator said the mediums were the best, but then it came down to the driver, which is summary or whatever he was saying at that point in time. But yeah, it's down to Imola now for us to see what Mercedes can cook, and deliver to us on track. Well, that being said, I think that's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, boss. Thank you very much. Let's have Toyib. If I'm already laughing, I don't know why.
Hi guys. For me, yeah, like the race was actually like I would say like it was like better than last year's race in the sense that we had the likes of Hamilton, um, Max starting like from like a place they don't normally start, and they were able to like go forward. And I think Max just showed Perez that, yo, man, I own this team. Like you, that this race just shows like how good Max is, and it just shows like you can't only depend on street races to win a championship. You need streets, you need everywhere actually to win championships. And Fernando Alonso as the nah, not Fernando Alonso actually. Aston Martin has really, how will I say it, really surprised me because if you actually look at it, we have people like Alfa Romeo. Obviously, you don't want to compare Alfa Romeo and Aston Martin, but if we look at last season, Alfa Romeo too, this was how they started. Like they were well improved. Then after like 5 races, they just dropped, or after like 4 races. But with Aston Martin, they keep dropping like that performance. That shows like the main business. And I think like what someone said yesterday that Toto Wolff should stop, how will I say it, feeling ashamed. Copy who you want to copy. And y'all see Aston Martin now, they are not ashamed of what they've done. And there they are reaping the reward. And no one even remembered that they copied Red Bull and Ferrari altogether. So also in terms of Ferrari, those guys, I don't know, they are fucking slow. So yeah, imagine Russell passing you guys, Hamilton passing Leclerc. Leclerc was fighting with Magnussen. Oh my, what's happening? Hey, it just shows like how bad that car is. Like, what are we doing, man? You know?
Tape, sorry. Tape, wait, I want to ask you one question.
Yeah,
See that Leclerc Magnussen
yeah,
whole I don't even know what to call it. That whole
yeah.
scenario, because it was more than one
Yes,
lap.
now it was.
Now, do you call that do you call it experience or do you call it like it's just like now they are just coming, you are falling for the same scam.
Yeah,
Every
exactly,
time.
exactly,
Like this
exactly.
is the championship material. Allah Akbar. Oh, serious.
Exactly. Like Magnussen kept passing him at the same place until maybe after like 5 times or 3 times. Obviously, not up to 5 times, though, but until like after like 3 times when he kept passing him before he learned his lesson that, oh, it looks like I need to pass him at that exact same place that is passing me through. You understand? So I think Ferrari they need to do something about that their car. Maybe like we've seen with all this, like with all these pundits have said or something, or like all the rumors we hear. There's like these rumors that the development progress of that car is not really as high as the Red Bull. And I don't know what Mercedes are looking for too with their zero side pod. With zero side pod, you know, when it first came out, I was expecting like 350 km per hour, and we are saying 320, 312. What's that? So you need to change that. You need to change that car. Is shit. Also with what's the name of these guys? This Esteban Ocon team and Gasly team. What's their name again? I don't even remember when they are shit. I don't remember shit teams. So
Fine.
those guys are like, how will I say it? They just like I remember as a Baku they were saying I want to be fighting second. You don't fight second with mouth. You have to fight on track. And I was expecting them to finish at least fifth with the so I think one of the Alpines started fourth, if I'm right. and I was expecting like fifth or sixth, and they really disappointed with all the second. Is that you fight second? You fight second from eighth on and ninth. I beg. Also with Alpha Tauri, that Nick De Vries, maybe it's just the new Latifi we need to help us change the races sometimes. Latifi, I was always scared of that guy. I'm like, hey, this guy is coming. Hey, hope he's not going to bring another red flag or something. But sometimes he helps the race, yeah, in his own way. He knows how he does it. And Yuki Sanoda has really, how will I say, it surprised me this season with his consistency. You know, he was even if I won't like if there was like four more laps, I think he would have caught Magnussen because by the end of the lap, it was 2 seconds off Magnussen. So he has really tried to. Um, who else? I think that's it basically. And like someone said something about Max showing that number one. I think I think that was the message me too. I saw there that man, I'm the number one in this team. Like, and see what Max did from night, and that's why I won't lie to you. These Sky guys, I don't really. That's why I don't really like take their stuff. Imagine that same type of pass or something close to the pass that Hamilton did in Silverstone that they were shouting pass of the season. Isn't that what Max did in how many laps on ad against two mediums? So we need to know how will I say it, hype things and you know. So now we can easily call that one too. I am pass of the season because that this one was even better. Just pass them like as if they were not there. So so I think those Sky guys they need to improve on the way they do their punditry and not be. They need to just be. Well, obviously they can't be neutral. Though. They can't be neutral all the time. But obviously they will always sway to one side because obviously we have some of the pundits that like Max better than Checo or Checo better than Max. That one you can't even fight it. So, but I just feel like Max really what Max did today is not something Checo can do. Maybe in his dreams, sure, but not now. Maybe never, but it's not something that someone like Checo can do in his dreams because only top guys can do it. And I think that's all I want to say. Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you very much, Tahib. Okay, let's have okay, let me just say the queue. We'll have Odunwaya, Monsieur Regis, then we'll have Fisco, then Bashenga in that order. So Odunwaya, please go ahead.
Good evening, guys. First of all, this was a very, very good race for me. I'm never going to lie. I was very happy. I I I expected a race where because we all know how fast the Red Bull was when Max will get to second, and then we just have him and Checo going at the same pace to the end of the race. But it it went way better than I expected. So that was very good for me as a Max fan. And with the strategies, there is no way Checo starting on pole position. There's no way Red Bull would have started him on hards and everyone behind him starting on mediums. That's them just shooting themselves in the foot with everyone behind them and even just putting Checo closer to Max. That you guys were saying that, oh, or not you guys, because someone said that he does not know why Red Bull started Checo on mediums. So yeah, and also I think Red Bull space is making us not see that the field is actually like really close. Because today's race was quite interesting. There were some overtakes that were like, oh, okay, it's equal, like on the same level and this. So yeah, Red Bull space is giving us some sort of not letting us see what is going on behind us. So and what else did I want to say? I don't know what happened with Charles today. I also expected that, oh, okay, that maybe he would go up the field, but I don't know. It was just struggling. I don't know if it was the car or if it was him, because the same thing happened to Sainz once he came on the hard tires. So I don't even understand what's going on at Ferrari. Then for how the this was the name for McLaren. Man, it was quite depressing, especially because a guy can't do a lot. So, and the mistake that De Vries made in the first lap, that was quite annoying. And yes, with what the last speaker said about Max double overtake, I do agree with you that, oh yeah, it deserves some sort of hype, because I think that was something that Max planned when he saw whatever was going on at his front. So he just planned and was waiting for it. Same thing Lewis did last year, to be fair. So yeah, that was all for now.
So that's how champions think. I see. Okay. Regis, let's have you, please.
Hi guys, good evening everyone. Um, I don't know. This race is don't know where to rate it, but Max Verstappen is not here. I'll first of all say congratulations to Red Bull fans and everybody who likes the guy. It has to be said, he is something. Max is he's an all round driver. Congrats to Max and all the way down to whoever supports Haas and Kevin Magnussen in the Haas. Getting 1 point from starting fourth on the grid, considering the people behind him. I think that was what Haas would have been targeting, and they done it. Checo, it's almost is I don't know whether it's painful. I don't know how I say. Is it painful or it's boring or it's frustrating to come to terms with the fact that for any other team to win a race or even come close to second, there has to be a DNF for Red Bull or something just has to happen. But with 20 cars on the grid, it's from what we've seen from these 5 races, I think it's impossible. And I don't know what it makes for. So if Max Verstappen had started first or second on the grid, he would have been probably around 2 pit stops ahead of the person in third, who obviously would not have been a red Alonso. So he would be more than 12 seconds ahead of Perez. So this guy is just is insane. I don't know how many more what's it called street tracks we have to go to for Checo to still show up some fight. If if they if they if their positions today were reversed, I think Miss Catrock kind of put it correctly to say this guy's best in second position, but he put up a fight at least, and at least I think that was on lap 52 or 53 when they did their stuff. If the positions were reversed, I just feel like Checo wouldn't have been able to come out of ninth unscathed. Something would have happened that you have to pit, and he'll say, "Oh, because of that." But that's why I say Max is all round. I don't know. Mercedes, I don't know how someone goes from FP1, 1 and 2 in FP1 to it's ridiculous. But fourth and sixth is not a bad result considering the last whatever him and what they did towards the end of the race. I mean, for Lewis, Carlos Sainz and his pit stop, whatever. He's lucky that it didn't cost him too much in the end. I don't know how in last. I think we've seen races without a safety car. But I always love the what safety car does, bunching the cars up together again, and those who are ready, those who are not ready, getting them all going again. I remember Checo saying that one of the ways he thinks Max will come close if there was a safety car. But Max just showed today that I don't even need a safety car, and that it's crazy. I don't know if Imola comes and everybody brings upgrades and it's still the same thing, brother. Just before the race starts, let's just give it to Max. Why we it's bad that if this guy starts from the pit lane in 5 races, 4 of them he'll win them, and I don't know. So congrats again to Yuki Tsunoda for beating the team leader, and yeah, the race I don't know. I'll rate it. I'll just give it maybe 6.5/10. It wasn't. It was just there to be. When we saw the grid starting lineup, it looked like, oh, there's going to be a lot of action. But the action wasn't really giving. The whole train of DRS and all those rubbish. Nah, it wasn't there. And yeah, I don't know. Let's just hand it to Red Bull already and Max Verstappen. It's three in a row for him. And hopefully Imola with the upgrades, Mercedes and Ferraris and them ones will come up, and we have to give it to Fernando Alonso. The man can drive. It is ridiculous. I hear the mic.
Thank you very much, Regis. Thank you. Regis, come. I know there's a topic you ignored,
I did.
but before I come back to that, hold on, Regis. And guys, please, we'll be, just be doing a bit of shuffle to bring up some people and take down some people as well. But yeah, Regis, your man Nick, this is race what?
It's just 5. It's 5.
5.
Yeah. He hasn't scored any points. I know.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know. That guy cannot drive. Bro. That guy is not. He's not normal. He's not normal. It's not normal. It's not normal.
Okay. So we should still give the remaining 5.
What we said it is when we get into these things now from Imola, when we come to these European tracks where he showed he's the world champion in Formula in F2. Because he has raced here before. He hasn't raced in Miami. You know that. You know he hasn't raced there before. So
Hülkenberg raced in Miami.
Hülkenberg was not. What did he do today? What did he do?
He's finished the P15 now. He took his position.
Where did he start from? Where did he start?
Well, I can't remember.
He's among those that started on hard tires with Lewis. It's only Lewis out of the people that started on hard compound tires that even did something nice today. So big ups to that guy. No, Lewis, the drive motor. Forget it. Every other okay, Esteban Ocon. Okay, Ocon came through as well. Yeah. So let's still give him some this thing. We'll give him some races, please.
Okay. Yeah, I'm telling you that he's
Regis.
Yes, Imade.
I'm surprised you did not parrot your favoritism agenda this evening, and that's very, very shocking. Why?
On who? And again, who? Me. I'm not I say it as it is. I don't do favoritism.
Imada, you don't like when people move on from things. You want him to go back. You don't like it.
It was intentional.
Can we have Fisco, please? Thank you.
Hi guys, good evening everyone. What a race. Congratulations to the Red Bull. Congratulations to Max fans. You guys should be very proud. But this was not a very good race. Just in terms of, and it's F1's fault. We should not be racing in Miami. This track is so difficult to overtake. There's no value, there's no attribute except that they want to fill their pockets with money. So it just wasn't a very good racetrack. So difficult to overtake. But then the worst thing for me really is that Red Bull, Adrian Newey, they should give him stocks. I hope in that his contract negotiation, he negotiated Red Bull stocks. That man, shout out to Max and everything, but come on. Nobody can overtake that Red Bull except a Red Bull. And that is an amazing feat of engineering that they've done. But Checo, him and Nick DeVries, fraud watch. They need to be on fraud watch, those two.
Checo on fraud watch.
I don't even have the words.
I was about to say the same thing.
No, I couldn't hold it.
Checo on fraud watch.
I'm sorry. My mouth shut up.
Let me explain my reasoning. Chill.
Come on.
Chill. Let me explain my reasoning. How won't he be on fraud watch? Has he not said that he's here to fight for the championship? And yet you start on pole. Your teammate starts in 9th. You start on the... Other than... It's only Max Lewis and a couple of them that did that hard stint to medium that did very well. But Checo was in the best position. If it was Max that started in P1 and Checo started in P9, would we be surprised? If Max now lost, it would be a shock. Checo should be on fraud watch. Even see him when they came to interview him. See as he was weak. He couldn't speak well. What kind of nonsense is this? This guy is worse than Bottas in terms of racing against his teammate. At least Bottas, you even give us some, you even maybe collect some races. What's the meaning of this? Especially because our only competition in terms of this year, the main competition that we're seeing is between the Red Bulls. It's like 2016 with Nico and Hamilton. That is where the main competition is, because we already know Red Bull is going to win the championship. So, guy, can you not, like, you two self, don't you want to do something for you? Can you not do something? So personally, I'm just very disappointed in Checo. It was literally handed to him on silver platter. It's only in Jeddah that you can give us something. Very poor behavior.
Okay, please, can I ask?
Whatever.
Are you a Mercedes fan? Okay,
Yeah,
I
no.
understand. It's all right.
Yeah, no. Of course, I gave
Yeah,
the
say
Nico
less. I
Hamilton
get.
explanation, but yes, now I'll probably rep Lewis all the time. But shout out to Mercedes for doing what they could today with the poor car. Hopefully in Imola we can bring some upgrades. We'll see how that goes. I don't know. But Alonso, amazing. And you see my problem with Checo especially. Once Aston Martin gets the upgrades that gets them to where they should be, Alonso will so clear Checo. Does anybody have any doubt about Alonso being able to clear Checo? No. And it's wrong now. That's wrong. So his contract ends this year. If they can, they should switch both of them. I don't know. Fling him out of that team. We need somebody, because Max has made it very clear that he's not like Alonso Lewis. He's not planning on staying here till he's in his 30s, 40s. Who is going to carry the team? If not, do we have anyone in the Red Bull Junior Academy that's really moving? Is it Yuki that's gonna, like, we need someone that can also take over when Max is done. Very bad behavior, Sha, from Checo. Tutupo. Ferrari. I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess Leclerc was ashamed about what happened yesterday. So the guy just, maybe was being extra careful. I don't know. It really reeked of inexperience. Sainz, when Hamilton passed him, as proud as I am for that, I was too shocked. I was too shocked. How has the Ferrari regressed this badly? Very disappointing. Nick De Vries, I need Helmut Marko to come and fling him out of that team and put somebody else in that seat.
Amen.
Amen. Hallelujah. Marco, do something. Do something for us, please. Like, this guy is wasting this space in the team. And well done to Yuki. He's really growing. In a couple of years, hopefully we can see him in Red Bull. But until he gets there, like, this is Checo's last year. Who can challenge Max? Who can challenge Max in equal machinery? I'll give it to him, Max Sha, but this was a very boring race for me personally. Russell, Mercedes fans, this thing that Lewis did today, I hope George will be able to do it in the future, because knowing him, I don't know if that one is a team player, but we'll see how we get there, Sha. Amen. Yeah, well done to Kevin. I know Gunther is popping champagne with what's that, his organ's name? Jean. Yeah, so good job to Magnussen. McLaren, I don't know. It's like those guys, I hope they will release Lando from that contract soon. Let Lando go to Red Bull even, because there's no hope for that team as of right now. But yeah, hopefully Imola will bring us something sweet, something fresh. Yeah, thank you.
Please, I want to clarify something from Fiscal. I heard her say something around in her comparison between Max and Perez. Something around Max is not going to stay long in the team, so Perez needs to sit up because who would carry the team? Do you think that Max is
Again,
going?
let me
Perez is going
clarify.
to out?
Let me clarify on that. Max has famously said that he doesn't really like the way the sprint formats are going, and he wants to race in other series.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
Alonso.
let me get to my question. Do you think so? Saying that, do you think that Perez is going to outstay Max in the Red Bull? Because that's kind of what you were insinuating. I mean, that's
No,
curious
that
to
wasn't
hear.
what I was insinuating. I think you mistook my point. Check, this is Checo's last year, so they will actually surely be flagging him out anytime soon, hopefully. Maybe they'll keep him on for one more year. But yeah, no, I don't think Checo is going to outlast Max in Red Bull. But I am saying that after 2028, which is when Max's contract runs out, I'm not all like, nobody is sure if he's going to sign or not. He said it that he's not sure he wants to stay. So my point being is that Checo cannot be the one that will lead Red Bull. Checo is probably not even going to be in that team to 2028. My point being is that similar to when Sebastian left, Max was the next person. Who is going to be the next person? Like, who is in the wings waiting? Even with Mercedes, we're seeing Kimi Antonelli. They're prepping that guy to take over. when Lewis is done. And if in the midterm, they'll probably, maybe if they can put Charles there. But Kimi is really who Mercedes is prepping. I'm
Yeah,
thinking
so
who in the Red Bull junior team can
I guess
take
we'll
up
just
that
let Red
position?
Bull worry about that, no? I guess we'll let Red Bull worry about who takes over their team. Anyway, I just wanted to clarify because I thought that's what you were insinuating. That's all for me.
Are we not here to speculate? Of course, Red Bull will manage their team, but we're just here discussing, talking like, babe, it's okay. I'm not fighting your team. It's okay.
Are you playing the same team? Oh, it's
I
not.
was
It's the
As
same, oh.
it shocked me because I was like, I was just clarifying stuff.
There's balance to that,
I was
too.
just clarifying stuff.
Yeah.
Weak me.
Okay. Fisco, Fisco, Fisco came to the kitchen with lighter. Just
Yeah,
on
I
it
can't lie. I came to cook today.
everywhere.
That race was shit. I came to cook.
But
Sorry.
yeah, thank you very much, Fisco. Anyway, on the Miami racetrack, as the opinion right now is that it's boring. Well, they are contemplating night race for Miami, so they are looking at a Singapore style. So I don't know, but yeah, Rishi. Yeah. Okay, moving on.
I mean, please, what
Bash.
time would the race start in the evening? Because this one that they started in the afternoon, the race started at 9
Yeah,
p.m. If they move it to night race,
I don't know. No, should I send you Dominicali's email?
please send it to me. I have other
Okay,
things to also email him about.
I'll give it to you shortly. Don't worry. Can we have Bashenga, please? Yeah.
Hello. As I listen to Fisco,
Bashanga, I even see you're an engineer, so you are more of aerodynamics. Okay.
I mean, yeah, because I do read the Tech Talk Tuesday articles.
Beautiful.
So my first thing, well, Fisco pretty much said everything I was gonna say. Like I was like, wow, that was really more. But I'll just say more. I'm a Mercedes fan, so let me just say I don't like. I first started off like I started watching F1 with most people in the world right now from Drive to Survive, but I went so into it. I started watching like older races. I saw like Sebastian Vettel, was Schumacher's movie, whatever. So my thing is with this Checo on fraud watch thing, I feel like I knew it was going to happen because the only reason why he was on pole was because of Leclerc. It was that mistake. He was in a good place and a good time. If you look at like a lot of the races this season, I won't say that it's all been luck, but a lot of it is luck related, like the wins. And then I do want him to be better. Like I want him to be a better position than Max, but unfortunately, that's not happening. Max he's just so attuned with the machinery of the car, like. And then the other thing, I don't remember who said it, but two people said the overtake from Max, when he overtook, who was it, Albon and someone else, I don't remember. That I want to say, I don't think that's pretty much completely all driver's skill. I would say that Hamilton's on still better because Hamilton's on still. It was just pure driving skill, and his machinery was not as good. He overtook them on a turn into the straight, and I almost that's not as impressive as what Lewis did because Lewis did it
That's
over
a
like
lie,
two.
oh. Hey, that's a
No. I
lie.
mean, it's not like I wouldn't say I watched it. I was like, okay, I wasn't even too sure about it. Like it was a good
Let's
overtake,
look at the two, yeah.
but
Because Hamilton's on
I want to
Charles
say
and Sergio Perez went off track and he overtook them. These guys didn't go off track and he overtook them. So
no, but
that's different, mate.
they went off because he was going into the straight. They were down the
Yeah.
straight, so like the track was wide enough for
Max
them
has
for
won.
him. He didn't
So
need to go
Max
off.
has won already.
No, but yeah, still. I mean, me. That's just part of me being a Max hater. I mean, I'll just say
Yeah.
that if I don't have anything nice to say about Max
Yeah.
unless aside the fact that he's a very good driver. I do think that Alonso is the best driver on the grid right now.
Don't get me wrong about
Ooh, you're breaking up. I don't think I heard the last thing you said.
I said I'm not saying Max's overtake was Louis' overtake was not good. All I was saying is why are they hyping it like as if that's the only overtake we'll see in this world? That's what they
Oh,
have.
I mean,
That was what I was
it's
trying
true.
to
I
say.
mean, it's always
That
because it's Lewis.
that's
It's
what
always
I'm trying to say. That what he did. Okay, Max too has done it. Okay,
Yeah,
let's start hyping
that's
that one too. That's what
completely
me I'm trying to
that's
say.
that's true.
Not like
That
not
is true. I
everything.
mean,
I'm true goes Hamilton. That's what we are then. Like what I'm saying, man.
I mean, you still need to know that if Lewis Hamilton to breathe, it will make headlines.
Yeah, I understand, bro.
As much as that.
Mm.
And then the other thing, my main problem today was Checo because I thought he was gonna win. Like, okay, starting on the mediums, okay, but the thing is, if like this was everybody has said this, but I'll give my own perspective on it. So in an F1 car, you're going against clean air, right? As the first position, he didn't have a lot of a fight from Alonso because Alonso knew to not fight the Red Bulls. So you're in clean air, you don't have any draft from other cars, anything that's causing disturbances. There's no reason why you should not be setting the fastest lap times consistently, right? And what happened? Max from ninth position by like his second, third overtake, he's setting fastest lap. He's setting fastest lap. He's gonna and he's facing like the dirty downwash air from other cars that are coming, right? So his race line is not ideal. So how is he not in an ideal position? Sergio Perez is literally in front. Checo is there with no fight. Alonso was what 2 seconds behind. I don't remember. This is like less than lap 10. There's no reason why you shouldn't be increasing that gap to Alonso to make it more difficult to Max. Because if we're being honest, the only competition that Checo had is Max, just because of how good the Red Bull car is, right? So, and then it got to lap 52 that they were wheel to wheel. And then I expected Max to take the overtake, right? But I didn't think it would be that much. As soon as Max overtook, he already went past a second and a half distance gap. He covered up that DRS distance, right? So even if with DRS, Checo is not catching up, how? You're in the same car. You were in the same car. At that point, they had the same tires. There's literally no excuse. Because Christian Horner said as well, they ran their races in reverse, right? So Checo was started on the medium. This guy started on the hard. I understand that honestly was the best decision to make. My English. Okay. Anyway, the strategy was good on both ends, right? Because I thought about it like, oh, maybe if Checo would have started on the hard, but if we started on the hard, everybody else was on medium. They would have, maybe he couldn't. We may not have had a good start, and also the lack of safety car here means it was just a purely driver's race. You did not. If there was a safety car, I personally think Checo would have gone away with the win because that would have stopped Verstappen a little bit. But honestly, big disappointment, Checo. Good race for everybody else. And again, the other thing that Fisco touched on, the continuity in Red Bull. I think they're screwed. I think they're screwed because Mercedes has a very solid plan. I honestly think if Mercedes was to get their stuff right, George Russell is a world championship driver. That's my personal opinion. Leclerc with his contract with Ferrari, that if we don't give him his world championship winning car, that his contract is going to expire by next year. Himself is not driving like a world champion. Sainz is driving better than him. Sainz has been driving better than him, but let me not say too much. Yeah, that's just a bunch of thanks for listening. Yeah.
Okay. Can we have our in-house engineer, please?
Did you say Lawa overtake?
No, our in-house engineer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not serious. Yeah, good evening, everyone. The whole Checo is on. That's what I actually want to start from. The whole Checo is on fraud watch. Like, the narrative is funny to me because lots of people have actually come here to say, oh yeah, Checo has taken a step this year, and the whole verbal comments that we keep hearing here and there, blah 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 blah. Everyone is crediting Checo for how he has started the season, and suddenly one race is on fraud watch. Like, me and a couple of other people have said it that Checo is simply not this guy. Last week or last race, I gave a particular example of We've had 4 tracks. 3 of them were street circuits. Checo is good on the streets, and he has shown that he has maximized his potential on the streets. Let's get to conventional tracks. Miami is quote and unquote a street circuit, but it has a whole most of the characteristics are conventional track characteristics, and it showed today. So, and that's what we have been saying. Enobong has said this lots of times. I have said it. Multiple people have said it, and that's why I actually threw the question to Regis initially because he was the one that was singing the song of favoritism when they get to conventional tracks. And I'm like, when it gets to conventional tracks, the difference will be made known. It will be shown. We have 23 races. I don't think we have up to 10 street circuits. So if Checo wins 10, what about the remaining 13? Let's just put that hypothetically. So the whole Checo is on fraud watch thing is funny to me because everyone has been crediting Checo the way he started the season. And Fisco said something about Checo and Max and Bottas putting up. To be honest, though, you guys can remind me, but I know I can only remember one particular race where Bottas put up a proper battle with Lewis in Silverstone. I think was it 2020 or 2021? I'm not sure. One of those races. That was one of the races I remember Bottas putting up a proper battle with Lewis. Every other time, once Lewis gets close to him, boom, he's gone. Lewis is clearly better than him. Point I'm trying to make is the moment you have a number one driver in Lewis and Max, those kind of people, and they have a subordinate, they would always be better than their subordinate. And this whole thing of continuity, I think you guys forget the success Red Bull racing team has actually brought to Formula One grade. They brought out Weber, Vettel, Gasly, Albon. They have Iwasa. They have
Fine.
I can go on. They have exactly. So they have lots of races, lots of racers waiting in the wings, doing some other things. I doubt Max is going to call it quits early, but if he does, they might not clearly not be competent as Max. When Vettel was leaving Red Bull in 2014, at the end of 2014, who knew Max was going to be this good? Everyone just felt, oh yeah, the son of another racer most likely is going to do his thing. No one knew Max was going to be this good. He got into the seat and he grabbed the positions they grabbed the opportunity with both hands. So the whole bothering about Red Bull's consistency, like aside their whole excesses, whatsoever you might say about them, no other team has produced multiple racers for the grid in recent years than the Red Bull Racing Academy. So that's one thing I would say. Then Mercedes, you say someone also said, I think the last speaker said Mercedes has a solid plan. Does Mercedes genuinely have a solid plan as regards replacement? There are current rumors and talks of Leclerc joining the Mercedes team. If Mercedes has an academy or has somebody in the wings going, locking, wouldn't that be what they'll be trying? Wouldn't that be the person they'll be trying to promote at this point in time? Would they be considering Leclerc, knowing how extremely difficult it's going to be for Leclerc to actually leave Ferrari, seeing his Ferrari through Prema team in the F2 that brought him up to where he is right now? So it's fun. That is also another funny thing. Then back to the race. Yeah, I agree. The race was boring, quote and unquote, but at the same time, it was more interesting than last year. This is the second edition of it. Personally, I don't care about it, but the whole excesses they did before and after, well, I can give it a one-shot try because we shouldn't have the same monotonous thing every race weekend. So let's try and embrace. I know humans are vast to change, but let's try and embrace the culture and whatsoever is going on in Ferrari. Well, I don't know. Leclerc was stuck behind Magnussen for as long as possible, and I don't know if he was trying to be careful not to get into the wall again. Whatsoever is going on in that team. Personally, I've said it. They just need to restructure the team and set like maybe a 5-year goal plan and tell the parent Ferrari team not to near them, not to interfere with them. Give everybody specified goals and tell them to work towards it and give them a 5-year plan. All this quick fix here, they're just papering over cracks that keep showing easily. Yeah, thank you. We move.
Thank you, engineer. Okay, let's have a Lawal, please. Lawal overtakes. Lawal. Okay. Miss Catrock.
Oh, I didn't have my hand up.
Oh, your hand was up earlier. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Oh,
So I
sorry.
just had your hand down. Okay. All right then. Read one. Then we'll have Daniela. Okay, sorry. Read one just before you go ahead. Elabon, do you want to say something?
Oh no, sorry. I think Imadi has said everything I wanted to say. So I don't have anything to say.
Mhm. Okay, thank you very much. Okay. Let's have read one. Then Daniela, then Fisco. Now then we move on to the rest of the grid.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I think you're a bit muffled.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. So
Yeah.
today's is quite interesting. Like there was overtakes, brilliant battles from the field, and those that started with like on medium, those that started with art. I think that made it more interesting, and I think like I really enjoyed today's series like very well. Like it was quite interesting. Like one of my highlights was that like was when Max took two out in one corner. Like that overtake was for me that was the best overtake today. When we overtook Leclerc and Magnussen today, that was the best one. Like the way he was just able to like he was at the I think behind Magnussen was able to just pull away from the both of them and just went away. Like today was quite interesting. So for Max also like his 38th win this in his career, tied with Sebastian Vettel for Red Bull Racing. Like I think that guy has just been brilliant. Like it just shows that he is miles ahead when it comes to racing. Like when it comes to let us race, the guy is just too good. Like last season, when he won from 14, 10, you can actually see that yes, this guy is quite good. But today, when he won from 9 and at that Miami track, even with the how it was able with the way he was like able to overtake everyone and his stint on that hard fire was not normal. I thought it was not normal. That was just fantastic. That was a brilliant job from him. Like he did almost like 46 or 43 laps on that hard tire. Like and that was amazing. Like that was brilliant. And his pace did not even drop off like that. And he was still able to maintain his pace. And like to be honest, I just like congrats to Max. Well, it's congrats to Max. Like that's just brilliant today. Like I really enjoyed it. And for Checo also, Checo did well today also. It's just that the strategy that he was on, I think that's the best strategy that they could put him on. Like I'm not expecting them to start with the hard compound from the start of the race. Like even there's no how it's going to lose position. There's no how. Even Max lost position at the start of the race without hard tire. So there's no how. The medium was just the best. It was just that the medium dropped off quite quickly while the hard compound like we received the hard compound at lap 20 or so. Or like around that lap 20. So that's just what happened. Like but congrats to him and when him like the battle between him and Max today was quite good. At least that's just what I want. Not that they will not be colliding with each other, all this stuff. No, I don't want that. But at least there was battle. They battled each other and Max came on top too. That was good. Another one for the team. I think the fourth one to this season. I mean, I think I the fourth race this season. we want to also this season, so that has been brilliant and like just congratulations to everyone at the team, even back at Milton Keynes, like in the new everyone, like
Ridwan,
they really
don't do, I don't do. Congratulations to Red Bull. Move on, let's go, man.
okay next to the next best thing, and that's Aston Martin. So for Aston Martin, I think they are like today's pace, like I don't like they've been struggling this weekend, but I think Fernando was able to pull off a very brilliant and he had a very good race also, and I think they did well also. So and for Mercedes, I think the car is like they had a very good car, a very good race car today, and Russell was able to like, and the man was very optimistic also. I don't know, maybe he needs glasses or something. Where is he seeing Perez? Because I don't understand that guy. But congrats to him. Like, he had a fantastic race. But as Enobong said, that when it's a reverse row, I can't wait to see what will happen because me, I really I can't wait to see. So let's just see because I know Ross that guy is diplomatic. So I await when the roles reverse. So that's for Mercedes, and Lewis had a very good race also. So for Ferrari, I think the problem with Ferrari is that the car is good. I think the car is good. One lap pace, they are good. But I think their race pace is bad. The race pace is bad. And this exactly what happened last season. But I don't know why they were not able to like improve from that because their race pace that like when in terms of racing they just drop off like just like that because today they were nowhere. I thought they were even competing with a customer team. Leclerc was not able to overtake Magnussen. Like I just don't understand. So their race pace is just quite bad today, and that's for them. For them to be able to fight at the top front, they need to do something with their race pace. If not, I'm sorry, Ferrari. It's going how many years now? I think 20. I think 205. At 205 that they won. I think 207 that they won the constructors. It's going to how many years? 15 years. I'm sorry, maybe 1026. They won't be able to get to that trophy, and that's almost like 20 years. So I wonder how that team is even called the best team in Formula One. So I don't just get them. But that's their own problem. So for the other thing, I think Haas had a very good race today. I think the car was quite good also. And for AlphaTauri, I think Yuki was able to like Yuki did well today. Mr. Consistency, 11 and 10. I think Yuki did well today, but Nick DeVries. So my own problem is just that my own with Nick DeVries is just that we need to start bringing in the performance because what everyone is saying is not good at all. The performance is not good and it's not good at all. So that's why, and even messed up another person's race. Like Lando had a very good start from the back and just went into the back of him like, man, what's going on? Can't you just spot your breaking point or what? Like, I just don't, even Latifi do not run into the back of someone like that. Why are you doing this? The Formula E and the Formula 2 champion, like what's going on? So I don't understand for it. And today, I think Alpine had a good race today. I think maybe their strategy was what messed them up also. And Alfa Romeo is just the Alfa Romeo. And I think Williams, so I think they had a very good. I think today's race was quite interesting. I think it was interesting. So I like what someone has said like on this piece that if Max wants to leave that what like with other drivers the Red Bull are fine, they might not be a driver that is up to Max, but they are drivers in the Red Bull Academy. And Red Bull is still recruiting drivers because you see, if you watch FC you see that those Red Bull drivers are in FC. Those guys are good, and those guys are terrorists. Those guys, they are very good and they are hard racers. You see Wasa, you see Auga, all those guys. You see Maloney, you see Fittipaldi. Those guys are good and they are very good racers. So and they are still coming up. So if Nick DeVries does not bring the performance in, there's also Liam Lawson in Super Formula. So that guy will just take it and it's good. And I won't be shocked if when Lando's contract runs out and Red Bull takes him also. So there are two drivers on the grid that Red Bull can still take, and there are two drivers outside also. So that's just it. So I think congrats to everyone today for today's race, and congrats to Oracle Red Bull Racing. Thank you for now.
Red one. Congratulations. Okay, red one. Okay, let's have Daniela, then Fisco. Then we'll have Tohib, then Regis, please, in that order. Thank you, guys. And guys,
Ridwan
please
has
answer. Okay, go on, Daniela. Don't worry.
no admin. You go ahead first.
No, ladies first. Carry on.
Ridwan has just reminded me that we truly watch these races from different perspectives because the congratulations, the interesting, it was really too much, honestly, for me. But oh well, if it was me, my driver that came from 9 to first, Sha, you know me already. That's how I'll just sing three praise song. I will scream, I'll shout, and will have to mute me. So we all watch these races from different perspectives. That's one to say. I was going to comment on the Perez situation with Verstappen and Perez. I think that it's early in the season. Maybe Red Bull, obviously they the line, the way they were saying, oh, we had a good clean fight is giving the vibe that maybe the instruction is, oh, let's close off the championship, let's win the championship, and then you guys can fight. Maybe by then it will be too late, but maybe that's the only thing. Perez had to be careful because the last thing Perez wanted, obviously, in that fight with Verstappen, he already knows he's on later tires. His tires are older. If he fights him and they both enter into the barrier, that one is not suitable for employment purposes. So, maybe he thought, at least I'll finish second. It's not far out of reach. I'll still have my job. You see the way Max Verstappen insulted George just after the race, just like that. Maybe he didn't want to catch any fire. He didn't want to do any, just wanted to. He said, let me mind my business. Be good. As Miss Catro said, he is a second driver, first place to be second driver. So he said, let me just do that one and then we'll see what was going to happen. And he says there's other races, so maybe that's why we haven't seen much from Perez. But I'm sure that the same energy that he used to defend against Lewis Abu Dhabi, I'm sure that energy has not disappeared. I'm sure it will reappear. Maybe when it's too late, maybe it will arrive too late. But I know that it depends on whether the team is allowing them to race, and that's maybe why we haven't seen much from Checo in terms of defending. But what can you do? That's how the cookie crumbles, unfortunately. And I just want to say, in terms of Ferrari, I think that as the barrier is to Leclerc, so penalties are to Sainz. I don't know if one does not crash, one will attract a penalty. So I don't know the whole team consensus. I think there's a lot more work for Fred Vasseur to do than he planned, because I just I don't understand. I'm confused. Also regarding my, what do you call it, Christian Horner's comment, he made a comment that I thought was very interesting. I don't like to bring up past issue. Maybe I do. Maybe I like to bring up conspiracy theory or agenda. But he was like, oh, we had a bit of a race by ourselves. Where are the other teams? Sir, when you overspend and your car is in front, why are you asking where the rest of the team is? What do you mean? What do you mean? When you were overspending, did you ask us? You didn't send out poll. So I don't understand. You are in front. Why are you asking where everybody else is? You know how you are in front. I don't know. Maybe that's me jumping to conclusion. Maybe somebody should help me come off my trampoline. I should look for safe ground. Maybe
Sorry, did we lose Daniela?
Yeah, I think we did.
Okay.
And I actually wanted to respond, but let me even respond. What Christian said, he said that, yes, we are other things. I'm sorry, but when Mercedes was dominating, what did everyone say? Let everyone catch up. So, if you can't catch up, I beg, you keep dominating, that's just it. Thank you.
We'll catch up when we spend the 2.2 million extra that you spent.
Okay, you know that
What was your proof?
2.2 million
Do you have a
that we
proof concerning that?
support
Not on that
with
shit
our
box. Hope you know. Even if you spend 5 million on that shit box, it will never get better. So
Why do you feel so? Why do you
yeah,
feel so?
because
Um, so,
they keep bringing
okay.
like upgrades all the time, and I think
No. I need you to know that we haven't brought an update since the
okay.
beginning of this
Uh,
season.
Okay, you guys
I
said
hope
you
you know
wanted to
about that.
change your
Tatu,
concept.
please, can you speak louder, please? Thank you, boss. If you are
You guys said you wanted to
thank
change
Okay.
your concept, and you've been trying to change the concept since last season. And I think that win last year really deceived you guys. But that one, I mean, I didn't even want to talk about it.
The
So
win
you, but I
the
was
win
thinking that
the
here I
win
was thinking that you're my favorite Red Bull fan.
the
You're
win
ruining
the
it.
win
You're
actually did
like, do
not
you
Okay, guys,
deceive
me,
understand?
I don't want to talk about Mercedes upgrade. I just want to talk about George. Though I think that guy is sneaky. Like one or two guys have said that guy is, because I feel like um if things come like to the main demand that Mercedes is in the real fight, I think that guy in a way might not play Tim's game, because sometimes I like to go back to what's the name, Sandoval last year, and what everyone thought was that he was going to like stay on the mediums, hold Max up, and the guy just, how will I say it, last minute he just sneaked Louis and be like, well, me, I want to change, and things like that. And I feel like although he did what was best for himself, but obviously if the team agrees that he should change, then that it is what it is. And also, I was just thinking of something that I think, to actually know like the best driver, I think we need to put all of them in that 2021 as that car was so shit. Whoever can drive that car is whoever can drive that car and win whoever can drive that car and win race is the best, because that car was so shit. And if we keep hearing things about Lewis versus Max, let's just go and put the two of them in that car, because that car was so shit. So I think that's it, guys. Thanks.
Yeah, and I mean, can
Well,
I
the
quickly
best.
talk about this George? Okay, sorry, Madi, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I wanted to say is the best drivers get the best cars, they get the best teams. So why are we trying to put them in this 2021 house or
You
whatsoever?
know,
And for this whole judge not being collaborative in future scenario and everything. He's in F1, like his name is George Russell, not George Hamilton, or not the Russell hyphen Hamilton. He's an F1 for himself. He's going to do what is best for himself. Yes, this whole kumbaya that everyone loves to do, oh, our drivers are this, my team is this. You guys should remember that F1 is number one, F1 is a ruthless sport. Secondly, these guys are top tier drivers and they want to win. Even as Sargent is, oh, okay, don't even use Sargent. Sargent is what we're trying. As Latifi was languishing behind, then deep down he genuinely wanted to win. So, so regardless of whatsoever was going on, these guys are in it for themselves. So I honestly don't. I feel the whole talk of, oh, will Judge do this, will Judge do this, and that's why it brings me back to the whole conversation we usually have after races of we expect perfect humans from these drivers, and they are not. Nobody is perfect. So let them do what they want as long as it's within the racing rules, and is being respectable. If George wants to blank the team tomorrow Lewis will show him, because generally obviously we know Lewis is better. So if George wants to blank the same when they finally have a competitive car and ignore instructions and do whatsoever, the pendulum is going to swing some other time and it will go Lewis's way. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Thank you.
I think I just want to pick up from what Imade was saying. I think that's partly what I wanted to say, but also just to say that I think Lewis has showed us, over and over again, that he doesn't necessarily need team orders to get, his business done. There's been several times where the team has asked Bottas to let him pass, and even though Bottas eventually did, no, I mean, not even eventually did, there are times where Bottas gave Lewis a tough time on track, even when they had asked him to let him by, and Lewis just overtook the guy and went about his way. I mean, I think he has showed over and over again that, listen, whether you let me through or not, when I need to get through, I would get through, get my business done, go, yeah, you delay me for one lap or two, but I'll do what I need to do and get. So all this, I mean, after every race, we have a George Russell conversation, and it's so exhausting because the guy is here to win races too, right? I mean, I completely understand the team spirit thing, but I don't think that's a problem for Lewis. I think if he needs to overtake the guy, he'll overtake him and go about his business. And I also just wanted to touch on the Checo Perez thing. I mean, people are also, I mean, I'm not a huge Red Bull fan, but the conspiracy theories are, very laughable. I think that with the strategy today, we need to understand that when you start first, bearing in mind that the person who's going to eventually be behind you is your teammate in the same machinery, who is a better driver than you, you're always at a disadvantage. I mean, your opponent is just going to do the opposite of what you're doing, and chances are they will jump you. And we know, I don't know what the surprise is that Perez did not live up to expectation this weekend. Like, Max is a better driver than Perez. They were running two different strategies, and in the end, Max was always going to jump him. I think that everyone started watching this race, except we wanted to delude ourselves, but we started watching this race knowing that Max was going to end up winning this race. So, I mean, so it's very funny to me that, we are still running with the whole Perez disappointed us narrative, or trying to look for conspiracy theories, in the Red Bull team today. Other days, yeah, but today, I don't think that's what it was. I just think that Perez didn't have what it took to win the race, and that's not surprising because Max is a better driver than him. Yeah, that's all from me.
Wait, I'm going. Please, can
Bongi,
I
I don't want to
sorry,
thinking
sorry.
that. Yeah, the one that's
Sorry, please.
thinking
I wanted to speak with
Perez
what she
is
said.
not better.
Sorry, please.
Okay.
Concerning what she said, Max is better than Perez. Sorry, no, I don't think so. Because if you look at their style of driving, Max is the kind of person that loves to, and he enjoys when his car is more or less understeering. Yes, why Checo? I think Checo likes his car oversteering. So looking at the two of them, I personally think Red Bull tried to sabotage Checo's race today. There was something
Today's race.
Yeah, there was something Crofty said.
Wow.
Yeah, during the race, he said they were giving Max, they were giving him every details, every data concerning his pace and everything he needs to get to Checo, while Checo radio was being mute. Sorry, please. I don't know if you can go back to
That's
2016
down
when
to Checo's engineers. It has nothing to do with the whole team.
No.
Exactly.
It is not down to Checo's
Brother,
engineers. No.
So it's down to who?
See, let me tell you.
And how do you even know? Were you on Checo's onboard to know that they were not giving him this information?
I was on his onboard. And let me even tell you, wait, I don't know if you guys watch this thing. If two drivers are fighting for a championship, because definitely this championship is between Checo and Max. If two drivers are fighting for a championship, why does the team don't give them what they want? At least you are supposed to give him what he wants.
Okay, girls, so just answer me. What did Checo want
So
today
now we
to
be the
win that
one
race?
telling
Listen,
you.
he's not lying.
I felt like Checo
Even
needed to
Sky,
pick up
who
the
is
pace.
Max,
No.
who is
I felt
big
like
Max
Checo,
fans, commented
no.
today. Why
I
is
felt like
Checo's engineer not giving him the same
I
amount
felt
of
like
information that
Checo
Max's
needed to
engineers
pick up
was
his
giving
pace,
him?
because
It's true.
if you watch what Checo was doing today, it was majorly tire saving. He was saving his tires. If you basically watch the race, I
so you
feel like
think the
they
team
should have told
told them not to give
So
Checo
Gossel, I
information?
think my question to you is,
Do you
Okay.
honestly believe, like, if you're someone who's been watching F1 for the longest time, do you honestly
Okay.
believe that Perez would have won that race today?
I feel like he should definitely. Why
Okay.
not?
Yeah,
I mean,
I
two
bet.
of them. They
So, so
according to Red Bull, they said two of them basically had the same car, which me I don't feel it's true. I don't feel it's true. I don't think both of them.
Sorry,
please,
please.
so
Sorry, please.
please,
Can I just say
Imade, I beg,
that?
let me quickly say
Can I
something.
just say something, please? I'm sorry for jumping the queue.
Please
Can I
let me
just
say,
something?
please
Sorry, please.
let me
I want to answer because
draw.
Christian Honor really answered this
No,
question when he was asked in the post-race
hold
show.
on, brother. Hold on, brother. You will answer in a second. Let me just say something. What I'm trying to say is, please, when we are talking here, please let's not push agenda or narrative because we are having some, what do you call it? Some F1 TV, Sky Sports people trooping in and out here. So I don't want to be. I don't want this community to be center of discussion when we get to Imola. Please, I use God and beg. Let's just push genuine
But
narratives. I beg.
admin,
Checo and Max
no
are driving
publicity
the
is
same
bad
car.
publicity, please.
At all.
No
At
publicity is
all.
bad publicity. Do you remember the good things around you or the bad things? Which one do
The
you
bad
remember
things,
first?
so
Not every day now. So yeah. Okay. Olabode, go ahead, boss.
Yes,
I,
in the post-race interview, Christian Honor was asked the same question, and he had said Max literally asked GP to give him constant updates on the gap to Checo, and Checo was also getting the delta time to Max per lap on his dashboard as the race was unraveling. So Checo had all the information he required. Just because he wasn't speaking on the radio doesn't mean that he didn't have the same information as Max. That was literally Christian Horner's response when he was asked in the post-racing show.
Thank
yeah,
you.
hi
What
guys.
I just wanted,
Hi
just
Okay.
guys.
Co-host.
Yeah.
all right.
I don't know if I'm allowed to speak or say a few things to you guys.
Okay. Jovena. Sorry.
No, let him go. Let him go ahead.
Okay.
Let him go
Yeah,
ahead.
go
Go
on.
ahead,
Go
then.
on.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. All right. Listen, I've been listening to you guys, and I agree with a lot of things. And first of all, I'd just like to say that I'm a supporter, right? And it's not because I've been a supporter all the time for Ferrari, but sometimes we have to look at it at a realistic level. I've learned to look at it now because I see Ferrari, they're struggling. Well, they're not really struggling. They're in a progress, right? They're in a work in progress. I'm not going to say the word struggling. They haven't been for the last 15 years. They haven't won a championship. They won it before with Schumacher, of course. And now you see the dominance. A couple of years ago, it was Mercedes. Now it's the benchmark is, of course, Red Bull. But truly, it comes down to this. I truly believe this. I believe that there's 20 drivers, and I believe there's 20 drivers that are great drivers. The only thing that excludes them to be on top, and we don't cease to see it, we don't get to see it, is because they're missing the power unit. They're missing the machinery. They're missing the output. They're missing the downforce. And if you look at the benchmark right now, it's Red Bull. So many people might say, yes, they're fast. And now, on the other hand, I will tell you that Ferrari is fast, very fast. As a matter of fact, they're just, I believe, as fast. Okay, so now they're working on right now on something to get something. They're having management with the tires. They're getting degradation with the tires. They're just not working. So in other words, picture this. Picture like Ferrari going and just putting the power unit, bringing it to a lower mode because they can't manage the tires. So they do their best to get it going, but they just don't have it in the window. So, of course, Red Bull goes, and of course they do it. And if you notice, it's always on the laps in the race. If you notice, when it's qualifying time, Ferrari does pretty good, very good, as a matter of fact. Leclerc, he aces it all the time. Most of the times he gets them. But when it comes down to 50 laps, they just can't get it going. So what is it? The truth is that the drivers, it's not really Leclerc. What I'm hoping, I'm looking at Ferrari as Ferrari. I'm not even worried about Leclerc. I'm not even worried about Sainz.
Right now, my attention is on Ferrari as a power unit because I know they're great drivers. There's no doubt about it. He's a future champion. You know, I'm not saying Verstappen. Verstappen is a great driver, but you have to understand he's got great machinery. So now, how do we compare drivers? The closest thing that comes to comparing drivers right now is if you get somebody like Checo, and you get now where they have the power units that are very close, very similar in downforce, and they do great on the track, mostly on all the tracks. And who are they? Checo and Verstappen. Now, when you notice those two drivers, that's when you can really tell, well, now the drivers are competing. Now, who's going to, we're not going to say who's better, but who's going to ace it for this year? When it comes to other teams, it's just not feasible. You can't see it. The reality is that we need the power. No matter how great the driver. Look at Hamilton. 7 years world champion. What happened? The best thing you can have. Everybody's looking at him now. He's never even getting on podium most of the time. Why? Because the aerodynamics they got, the rules changed. They try to get it, and they're just not balancing the cars like the rest of the team. Ferrari's having a hard time balancing the team, but Red Bull ace it every time. They balance it. It's just picture balancing a car. You don't have to do too much to it, and all of a sudden you get it on track, and it just sticks on track. It just takes those corners. It takes those straights like there's no tomorrow. And who else has it? Aston. Who would have thought Aston Martin would have came so far? Alonso? Really? Let's be realistic. I would have never expected that. And I've been watching now in Formula One for quite a few years. I would have never expected that. It came out of the woodworks. And look what they pulled off. They pulled it off. They're doing great. So what is it really does it come down to? You need the power unit. As a matter of fact, that's what the drivers want. That's what they want. They want a beast. They want that car. They want to be able to handle it. That's what I believe. I believe we should be realistic when we look at Formula One. There's fans and then there's supporters. I choose to be a supporter, where I choose to look at the whole situation, and I believe that any team only wins as a team. It doesn't win just because of the driver. Trust me on that. It does not win just. You can have the best driver. If the team is not working to get that power unit where it should be, you're just not going to have it with the best driver.
Thank you very much, Giovanni. Okay. Quickly, we'll be moving on to the rest of the grid, but let's quickly have what's the time? Well, we'll rush it up. Let's quickly have Fiscal, Ridwan, and Regis. So 1 minute, please, guys, and then let's move on to the rest of the grid. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So Checo Ford Watch always. That guy. Coulda. Second person who should be on Ford Watch is Mike Elliott. Why is Aston Martin able to get more out of the Mercedes-Benz power unit than Mercedes-Benz? Like, in what world should the customer team be beating the creator of the product? Very bad. Also, I really hate the fact that I'm here defending Max Verstappen, but I'm so surprised by this talk that Checo can beat Max. Like me, I wish Checo could beat Max, but that guy just doesn't have the sauce. You see, also, everybody's telling him to be like Rosberg in 2016. That battle of the mind, Checo has already lost it. You see now this one that he had the chance to win and he's lost like this, then Max is pointing to number one. I can't lie, for me, this guy's season is over from here. Then, I wish Daniela was here, but the budget cap. Now, because Formula One is so boring on track right now, except like you're a Red Bull fan, I can't wait for the results to be released of this year's budget cap because I'm just curious, Sha. I'm just curious because yeah, I'm just curious. And by the grace of God, Red Bull is over the budget again. And nothing will happen probably, but then we can at least say, yeah, you are a cheater. And we can say it again. You are a cheater. Very good. Yeah, that's really it.
Wait, but Fisco, where exactly are you? On one hand, Checo is on fraud watch because he's not performing and you're expecting him to beat Max. On the other hand, you say he's not going to beat Max. I don't get.
It's the same way like how if let's say you were a Red Bull fan in 2020, you want Bottas to beat Hamilton now, maybe because you don't want to see Hamilton always winning. But in your heart of hearts, it's
So
not possible.
you're just fully on agenda mode.
Imade,
Why do
thank
you
you for
say
asking
so?
that question because I was gonna ask it.
Why am I on agenda mode?
Because
Talk to
I
me.
don't
Talk to me.
understand. Like, no. When you started initially, you said, oh, you started with Checo is on fraud watch. The only reason you're going to be putting someone on fraud watch is because the person is not living up to potential. That's why
Yeah,
we
no.
put the freeze on fraud watch because he's a Formula E champion and he has come here and he's thinking of the place. So if you're putting Checo on fraud watch, it's because he's not living up to potential. The only potential Checo can live up to at this point with the dominant car he has is to challenge for the championship. So if you're putting Checo on fraud watch at this point in time, and then a couple of minutes and discussions later, you're coming to say, "Oh, I know Checo can beat Max," then where is it? That's why I asked the question. Do you understand?
Okay, I see what you're saying. Honestly, it's from the evidence of what we're seeing. Even this entire weekend, even Horner, and he said it as well when they were trying to hype him after qualifying. He said, I've been consistently off. It's been a bad weekend for me. I've been a couple of 2/10, 3/10 off Max the entire weekend. And it's kind of thing where, like, since Red Bull is definitely winning the championship this year, you kind of want some competition between the Red Bull drivers. But Checo is just not delivering. That's why I'm putting him on fraud watch. Like, I wish he was, and I wish there was a chance. Like, he just keeps falling hand now. How about he just keeps falling hand?
Sis,
I
is
don't
it
like.
this
I wish
season?
he could
Sis,
win,
Wait,
but
is it
sorry,
this
please.
season or you're talking of last season? Which season is he not delivering?
this season so
I,
far, in terms of, I want him
Please,
to be able to
I
beat
wanted to
Max
ask a
on
question.
merit, not
I wanted
DNF,
to ask a
not
question. Please,
safety
can you
car,
give
not
me?
something, not red flag. Just beat Max.
I know you're a Mercedes fan who just wants
Yeah,
Max.
but that's nonsense
Spent a long
because
time
Wait,
discussing.
one's won two races, one won
Yeah.
three.
So
So and he's 6 points behind. Like what you're saying don't even make sense. And I ain't even a Red Bull fan by a long shot.
nah,
But like
that's
you're
what
not
I'm
making
saying. So
sense.
Fisco, I
Oh,
don't know if it's
Come
this
on now.
season.
ah,
The guy is
If
overdoing.
you're cooking, you need to come with gas. This is foolishness.
ah. Let's calm down. Let's
Nah.
calm down now. What do you want me to explain? Because I don't understand what the problem is.
What we are saying is Sergio Perez this season is you cannot tell me anything that
He's the best he's
he is
been.
flying like
Of course, he's the best he's been. Like, come on, this guy was just 6 points behind. I'm not saying he's not the best he's been, but can
But
he
then
beat
how
then
is
he
he
Max?
on
can't be on
fraud
any
watch?
But
fraud
can he?
watch.
How? But he can't beat Max in equal machinery. Don't
No,
you understand?
He,
you're not. Who is expecting
so
him to
how did
beat
he win?
Max?
How did he win two races if he can't beat him? What are you saying?
I don't
He's
understand the
won two
problem, guys.
races. Max has won three. So he's obviously beat him in equal machine. I'm sorry, like I can't. You're not serious.
Wait,
Sorry,
you want him to be like 50 points ahead of Max now or something like that?
I want him to just have a chance of being able to beat Max.
But
Why
that's
should he
what he's
start
doing now.
P1 and
He's
Max is
doing it.
still? How? Max is in front of him right now.
Hey,
One
Like
has
Can I
won
say
6
two
something?
points
races,
and
one has
one
won three
race.
races. What more do you want?
In the F1 standings.
Can I?
This is the
Ah,
closest he's ever been. Like, what do you mean?
but wait, do you guys really
Can,
think
can I say something? Can I say
yeah.
something, please? Yeah.
Come on, guys.
What is going on? What's going on with Fisco at this point in time is exactly what's going on with every other fan when Mercedes was dominating. You just wish for something supernatural to happen and the teammate beat that Bottas beat Lewis. Because had arguments, to be honest, I'm not trying to be insultive to you and forgive me if I sound insultive, but your arguments are just all over the place. I, it's not get, I don't get it. We had 5 races. One person has won 3 races, the other person has won 2 races. What more do you expect someone who you claim in your words cannot beat him in same machinery? What else do you expect? The score at the moment is 3-2. So what more do you expect him to do? To carry the car on his head and sprint to
Ah,
the finish line.
I tire.
Hello,
I
I
don't
good
get
evening.
it.
tire.
Good evening.
I mean, I'm
um,
upset that people got me in these streets defending Red Bull.
so
Like,
I
cut it
think
out.
I
Cut
think
it
her
out.
point is that when you look at it, when you look beyond the 3-2 margin that you're having, when you look at it, you know that if they go out, if they're going to go on a race, maybe for the next 10 races, unless something unfortunate happens to Max, he's always going to come out on top. And even last season, you could see from the start of the season, Checo was putting in some nice moves and all of that. He was in the conversation, and then he fell off. He fell off real bad that in the end, he didn't even make it
See,
to the
bro,
top two.
sorry to cut you, but we
But
need
that
to
was how
put a
it
line
was.
between
That was how
falling
it
off
was with
But this
and
is
Lewis
a new
saying that
year.
both times.
Max was just too good. That even if you put the power of Checo raised to power 2, he will not get to Max. Max just was in a class of his
Yeah,
own.
but then Checo was not even competing with Max.
It's
At
not
that point,
true.
he
It's
was
not true.
just all over the place. And that is what I'm
Okay, well,
expecting
no
to happen
problem.
to
Checo
him this
has
season
been
too.
way more consistent than he's ever been. I mean, this
But he can
season
never
has
beat Max still.
definitely
That's the
been. But you
problem.
Yeah,
don't
this
know that
season is
though.
just 5 races
But you
in.
know,
You
no
get
problem.
it's
No
just 5
problem. We're
races
too
in,
early
and
in the
you can
season.
already see the signs that he's falling short. Obviously, I don't expect him to
That, like, I
be
don't know why
He's
competing
this
with
falling
the
but
best
short
argument
this
is
Ferrari,
so
season.
understand. Like,
although
what's
you guys can't
confusing?
blame
All right,
Checo
What
though,
is
you know Max has
confusing?
we'll
been
come back to
in a
this.
title fight.
Ah,
You
anyhow, we'll
believe
come
Max
back
has
in a
been
Yeah,
in a
couple
we'll
of
come
title
races
back
and
to
fight
we'll
this
see where
before?
because it
Max
is
is and we'll
clear. You
see where
can
So
Checo
see.
is. Because I don't know what's so confusing. Ah,
although you guys can't blame Checo though, you know Max has been in a title fight with Lewis as at 2021. He has been in a very serious pressure, and I don't think Checo has been in that kind of severe pressure. But I still believe that as time goes on and the races unveil itself, maybe we can see what Checo can actually do. Maybe he can actually
honestly, we'll
surpass
come
Max.
back in 5 races and we'll see who's leading the championship and by
Yes,
what gap, Max or Checo.
yeah,
Like, I
yes,
don't know why
yes.
we're all acting confused.
Yeah,
Like, it's a new year.
No,
Checo is
we
doing the
can't
best
actually
he has
give
ever
we
done.
can't
But
actually
can he
give
do better than Max? No, he doesn't have the sauce. And that's a shame.
he
I
so
wish
if
he
actually
did
he
because I
if
don't
can
want Max
actually
to
do
win.
better than Max.
Yeah,
He
but
can
that doesn't
actually
make
do
him
better.
a fraud. If you aim for one and you come two out of 20 people, how can you be a fraud? Like that doesn't even make sense. And
For
here you're
me.
I
just making me defend Red Bull again. I'm
Yeah, I'm so
annoyed.
surprised because I know you don't like Red Bull. So I'm
I'm
wondering what this
annoyed
smoke is for. Like,
because the
girl,
argument don't make sense.
Nah, you don't because
like to me it does, Sha. But we'll come back
Hold
in
on,
5 races
hold
and
on,
we'll see
hold
who is
on.
leading, Max or Checo. Boom. Evidence will tell the
You know,
tale.
what's funny?
people,
I think
if
that a
nobody's
lot of us on
arguing
this
Wait,
against
space
wait,
him,
agree that
everyone should just hold on. Everyone wants to. Let's all take a deep breath, please. Let's all take a deep breath. Mute your mic. Take a deep breath.
admin, I've done my
Like
own.
you
breathe,
know.
please.
No, no. I mean, I don't even want
I've
to.
done
I
my
think I just
own
wanted to
too.
say that. I think a lot of people on this space actually are on the page that Max would lead Checo, right? A lot of us who are even going back and forth, on this are on the page that, at least I know for me, probably Made or maybe Reggie, see, I think we're probably like saying the same thing. Max would be ahead of Checo, because I think, in my opinion, he's the better driver. That's what we're saying. I think where the confusion began was that the conversation first started as, Checo was supposed to be on par with Max, but now ended as Checo can never be on par with Max. I think that's what caused the confusion, right?
No,
So
the main
yeah.
confusion is
Okay, you know
Checo
what?
being on fraud watch. I can't.
Honestly, since I'm
No,
the one
yeah.
that
So
brought
that
up,
was
let me
that was what
clarify
brought
my
up the
point.
Ford watch
It's my point.
conversation.
Nah, I'm not having that one.
It's my point. So let me clarify it. Checo has said he's fighting for the championship. Today, what we've seen is the beginning of his downward slump that he also had last year. Honestly, like right now, they're only like 6 points different. No problem. We'll come back in 5 races and we'll see what it's looking like. I'm also a Lewis fan. Why are you making me defend this horrible team? This is very
Why do you
poor.
feel Red Bull is an horrible team? Stop that.
Guys, now if Mercedes spent 2.2 million, will you not be shouting too? Let's
See, I
all
know
be
what it
real.
is.
If
Fisco,
Mercedes spent
Fisco, you don't
2.2
like
over here,
Max. You don't like Max. You don't like Max. That you don't like him so bad that you want Checo to stand up to him. That's why.
have
Exactly.
I not said that
So
already?
chill, chill.
I said it now.
Let's leave it.
I
Allow
said
it. Let's leave it.
Okay, okay, okay. Wait, hold on. I know we have some of the Red Bull representatives here, and they would like to respond. So, Let's start with the Alga first. Go ahead, boss.
I'm not. I'm not.
But
I've
but
been.
but you unmute your mic now. You say you are not.
If
Calm down, boss.
I do stuff. So I've been hearing all sorts of things, all sorts of cooking this night, or like this night, and like this the gas thing. Like I really enjoy this kind of cooking. Like that's what we live for on this place. So I really enjoy this thing. But let me just clarify from what everyone has been saying. Someone said that yes, that about this team radio of a team or sort of something. Like I read on the timeline that it is not all team radio that everyone will hear. It's not everything that you won't be able to hear everything. So I think that there are some that are being edited or something like that that you'll be able to hear everything. And even Christian clarified this thing. Like I already knew that when Karun was already cooking his own beans inside the kitchen, I already knew that we will come and still cook the same thing on this plate. I already knew. And Christian already clarified that Checo already has all this stuff on his dashboard that it's just do plus one minus two. So that's just what he knows about everything that is going on. And even was it not the same Checo that asked his team engineer that his mark struggling, and we are like, he knew exactly what Mark is doing. So that's just he knew. So that one is there. Even what did GP tell Max that concentrate on driving. Let me focus on my own job. So I don't. That's just Max. That's just Max. He's the one with his engineer that like doing all those kind of things. That's just him, and he just focus on driving. So that's just Max. About that, Checo does not know about team radio of the team. No, don't let us bring that one up. That's just another agenda that we never bring that one up. Both of them knows exactly the same time that they are doing. So that's it for them about that one. So and for this fraud watch that we are talking about, like that's like I don't know where that is coming from, because if you are calling Checo a fraud watch,
Read
like if
on
you are
1 minute, please.
okay, sorry. So if you are calling Checo a fraud at this start of the season with this kind of season it's having, I don't know exactly what you are expecting from him. Like I don't understand. Maybe he should have won maybe the first 5 races. Maybe that's exactly what you want from Checo, or he should have qualified ahead for the first 5 races. So I don't understand. And we've all said it on this space that Checo is not that guy. So I don't like you expect more from him. Maybe that's why you want more from Checo. So maybe that's why you're putting on fraud watch. But I think this season he has even been able to match Max, and he has like he has won 2 races. So I don't get this fraud watch on 18. So I like, but if you expect more from Checo, I think that's exactly might be the reason why I'm putting him on fraud watch. So because he has been brilliant this season. So that's just me. Thank you.
Thank you, Ridwan. Okay, let's have Papi, Lawal, Regis, then Daniela. So 1 minute, guys, please. Let's make it quick. Thank you, guys.
All right. So maybe just to start from where Ridwan stopped, right? Monchako is not that guy, and I think maybe I get maybe what I can't remember her name now. What she was saying about maybe fraud watch and all of those things. Yes, Perez has won 2 out of 5 races. Agreed, but Max has probably had to work harder for his own P1, P2 than Perez. In Jeddah, for example, he had to cut through the field to come into P2. Only one race where Checo had to do that in Australia. I think he finished P5 or something, right? So yes, regardless of what happened to Checo today, would almost never happen to Max, where he starts P1. His teammate starts P9 and still dunks 5.3 seconds on him, right? So I think maybe people just need to give up at this point. Don't have so much expectation about Checo challenging Max for the championship. Yes, he has won 2 out of 5 races, but give it to 10 races now, and then you see a 50 point gap in the championship. So it's going to almost continue like this. It's most likely the end of whatever king of the streets that was existing before now, right? So don't have too much expectations, right? The championship is in Red Bull's hands, and Max is that guy, and Checo is not that guy. So I understand the Meg fans want competition, but maybe waiting next year, right? I don't think that's going to happen this year, to be honest. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Lawal, please.
Good day, everyone, man. I don't know if it's just me, but for some reason, this season is just not giving me any excitement. And it's not even in relation to last year or rather the year before that when Lewis and Max were fighting, even from like 2017, 2018. For some reason, I'm just not feeling connected to this season. Secondly, that Red Bull is a fucking rocket ship because I don't know what those guys are driving. The move Max pulled on, who was it again? Was it Leclerc and Magnussen with DRS? That was just crazy, and he left them to go. Yeah, like everyone has said, I don't think Perez is on fraud watch because we all know where he is. I think the person that was supporting that actually is on fraud watch now is Nick DeFries. I'm pained. I'm actually pained. What else? And oh yeah, the battle between Max and Perez for the championship. The thing is with F1, he has a funny way of working. We actually never know. Most likely, Max is still going to carry it if everyone is being honest. And I think where Perez used to lack was in race pace. Same thing that happened with Hamilton and Bottas. Bottas's race pace was just never matching. And I think it's the same thing with Perez right now. But he said he likes the way the car is, he's doing all that. But like a few people have said, man, he can't do nice. I feel like him doing nice. He's putting himself in number 2. He wasn't even as pissed as he was for the finishing P2 from starting from P1 today. So I think more than him just saying he's fighting for it, I think he needs to live and breathe it the way Rosberg did and had to retire the year after. What else? The race was, I don't know. I've been saying it, man, F1 needs to find something to do. Yeah, they changed the rules, but the race wasn't too... Yeah, you had good overtakes, but in general, it was just there. And most of the races have just been there. Whether it's the one stop, whether it's the race strategy, there's no excitement anymore. But overall, I said we'll see how it goes. I'm just waiting for Monaco. That for me, even if there's no overtaking, I like it. So I'll wait to see how it gets on there.
Sorry, Laura, what team do you support?
I'm an objective guy, but I support Mercedes.
That's why you're having a shitty season, quote unquote.
No, now even if it's Red Bull, see, okay, Red Bull guys will be enjoying, but you're telling me you're a Red Bull guy now, and you sit down in your house, Max has won, Checo is P2, and you're just sitting down for 1 hour, 30 minutes, nothing. Forget you're a Red Bull fan, forget you're a Mercedes fan. You know what's funny? I used to love Max when I started watching F1. That was the driver I supported wholeheartedly. I just never liked the way he spoke, so like I backed off of him. But like, yeah, I still support Max, I still support Lewis, I support these guys. But still, lap 19? This guy was already in P2 from P9. Nobody defended him. The whole race, he did dry. Let's not lie. Also, one last thing, Max is not retiring. Other on Ashais. The one saying he retired before this because of sprint race, or that is a lie.
I understand what you're saying, and you know that this is what other fans also sat through when Mercedes, the start of the hybrid era. So I get you. Like lots of races a couple of races are boring, but once again, I think was it Enabong or someone that said earlier, if we try to exclude, even though we know we can't do that, but if we try to exclude the Red Bull, you would actually realize that the field is closer together. Now, how is everyone going to catch up with the Red Bull? Well, every other person should get their bread up. Same thing people told Mercedes and told them other fans when Mercedes was dominating. The same thing they told them when Vettel was dominating. So get your bread up. Me personally, my own idea of spicing up the races is make the tires are too robust for me. They last too long. Make them last lesser time so that there will be more strategy in play and guys would have to visit the pits more. In 2010, 2011, we used to visit the pits 3 to 4 times on average. Right now, a one stop is so sure. So personally, that's my own point of view. Aside trying to get the cars closer, just make the tires are too hard. They last too long a time. Yeah, thank you.
No, I agree with you in saying that the rest of the field is close. It doesn't still take away from it being boring. Like when we're having the restraints and everything. Even a small percentage to look at is look at all the new drivers that came in this year. All of them are mute. If you look at other years, even if they were not good, like the drivers that came in were being talked about. When you go from Latifi to Russell to when Leclerc came in to all these new boys. This year, Piastri that did F3, F2 literally came F1. It's like all of them just happen to be mutes. And now they get their bread up when Dominicali said it's a lie. All of you must take cost cap. So everybody will suffer. It's me. I've started watching Formula E now. Everybody just go and pot there. Let them get new fans. Interesting race. Someone from P6 can win. It's unpredictable. That's the way forward now.
How do you cope with the whirring of the engine in Formula E? I can't watch that thing because it annoys my ears.
Fair enough. That's part of it. You can mute it, but it's part of it. It's still interesting though. Just this season, I've just started watching other races. F1 has just been mute.
You can watch IndyCar too.
IndyCar have did there. Facts.
We'll start watching go-karts in process. Okay, but yeah.
Go-kart.
Sorry, last one. Let me. Okay. You guys can follow my overtaking page. Let me put my page out there if you like it.
Okay. Well,
sorry,
where are you? What are you about? What manner of overtaking?
Oh, I mean my page. My page is an overtaking page for F1 game.
Is it real life overtaking or game?
Now real life and game. All of them join.
No, okay, but yeah, we don't condone fast life.
No promotion.
No promotion of fast life or
on
F1
Nigeria. No problem.
Yeah, but if you want to follow him to overtake, you guys can follow him. But yeah, Regis, please go ahead. Thank you very much. Hey God, are we going to move on like this? Because the way we are going is like it will get to a point. The space will just off.
Okay, one. Let's quick. Let us first of all, the last race when I said with my full chest that even if Perez, like there was nothing Verstappen would have done to overtake Perez on that track last week, and I still stand by it. And this week, what I think is, I don't think there's anything Perez would have done this week that would have made Verstappen not to overtake him. The reason for that is, if Verstappen had started in the position Perez was today, I feel like Verstappen would have pulled off at least a 12-second gap on Perez or whoever was the next person to him before time for those pits, and he would have calculated it in such a way that if he had gone to the pits, when the next person pit, the tires would be kind of similar, like the tire windows. So whatever Perez would have brought out today, Verstappen would have still won. So big as Verstappen. Two, those people, anybody saying that Perez is not that guy, let us remember that Perez was in a team that was literally going to kick him or sack him, and then Red Bull came to the rescue. He's not like a guy like who was doing bits and joined the team. So personally, he's punching. If you ask him, he'll tell you he's even punching above his weight. So let's not be saying Perez is not that guy. They've had 5 races. He's won 2. In how many years he's had 5 wins at Red Bull? So let's give him some credit for Red Bull to be doing 1-2. In a reverse unit or somewhere, it's possible that he could have been Perez. Verstappen will be coming first, and Perez is coming 6th. Nobody's going to kill him for that. The person who should be on fraud watch. Let us now forget about Nick De Vries. Let us now start turning our attentions to Lance Stroll, because I'm not understanding. This is what 5 races in. He's racing somebody who is close to my father's age mate, and I don't understand what's going on. So let us start looking at that side.
Admin, I'm next. Admin, I'm next.
Go ahead.
That's what. What do you want us to forget? Where are you running to?
We'll forget Nick.
Where are you running?
Forget Nick De Vries.
You are
Nick De Vries
forget who.
is a
Somebody we are
rookie.
giving 10 races. Somebody we are giving
Yes,
a rook.
we are
Regis,
still
please,
five
please,
in,
please,
but
please,
let
please,
us
please,
turn
please,
our
please.
attentions to Lance Stroll.
We are not. We can add him. We can add him, but on the Vries. On the Vries, no, Regis. Defend your guy. Don't run away. Defend your guy. Stand by him. You say he's new. He hasn't raced here before. Regis, he hasn't
But he
raced.
hasn't
We
raced
are
he
going to
hasn't
Europe. He
raced in
has
Miami
raced there.
before. He hasn't.
Yes, so Regis, keep the energy. It's you that I want to
He has
cook.
raced in
Please,
Imola.
please,
Let us
please, please,
remember that he
please,
has
please.
raced in Imola. If after
Do you not race in Baku before? Do you not race in Baku? Wait, do you not
Oh,
DNF in
I
Baku?
mean,
No, he hasn't raced in Baku
Well,
before.
you have raced there now.
he
You
has
did not.
raced there,
That was
and
making
they
mouth.
even said
Let me go and find the Alpha Tauri press debrief.
last week, you even put like saying that he's counting on the experience.
Daniela, we can't hear you.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Mm.
Yeah, no.
You were
It's
Yeah.
you this
when you
article.
start
I think
talking too
you were the
much,
one who
your
posted
network
it.
will go. Take it easy, oh.
Regis, you're not funny.
Calm down.
But Lance Stroll, it's so interesting because, like I mentioned at the start of when I spoke first, I was like, oh, with Mercedes, this season their reliability has actually been really good. With Mercedes and George, with them actually trying to be in the points consistently, and Lance Stroll not being in the points, it means that Mercedes is not as far away from Aston Martin. With Alonso being the only person who is with all them necessarily only competing with one car. We know that Stroll broke his wrist, but I don't know, maybe he's still recovering. But him himself, he was frustrated this race with where he was at. He was like, what do I need to do? Because you could tell that he wanted to be in the points, and Alonso was trying to be I don't know, he was trying to
Alonso
be
is
a good
doing too
teammate.
much. He's doing
I
too
don't I don't I
much.
don't know. I don't know
That
whether
is
it's
called doing
genuine.
too
I don't
much.
know. He was looking at he was in his own race, and then he was watching another. How are you driving an F1 car and then watching other billboards to see where your teammate is and the overtaken? I said, hey, maybe he's concerned. Maybe he wants his team to succeed. That's all I know. But
Big
last
brother,
show
big brother.
is giving big. Maybe he's trying to rebrand. He doesn't want to be Alonso of brown envelope anymore. He wants to be role model. So he's trying to rebrand. And also because I said last year that I'm so interested for this driver pairing because of Lance Stroll being daddy's son, being team owner's son. But maybe this Alonso strategy too. He'd be like, Sarah, you see, I'm trying my best to help your son, but he's what can I do? I'll do my best for you as you've hired me to do. And I also, tell Lance my brake balance. Tell my, so maybe that's how it's going. But I agree the reasons on fraud watch. Lance Stroll, I know that a lot of people had written him off earlier, then he broke his wrist and he did okay, and then people were like, okay, maybe we can give him a chance, and now we are seeing, but I think he definitely needs to start scoring more points. Other than that, Mercedes, if they keep up the reliability and with the upgrade coming in Imola, we could have a battle with them. I think in the whole discussion about Checo, Perez, all the kind of thing, I think what people are confusing is the narrative of F1 when they are building like a championship fight. It doesn't feel that's all. It's nothing to do with Checo, or maybe it is, but it's nothing to do with Checo or Max, or it's just that. And this happens sometimes when drivers are in the team. It happens when the drivers who are competing are in the same team, and it also happens when it's early on in the season. The team doesn't want them to crash into each other fighting so early on because it could so easily go to their competitors, and it's too early to start to judge, to create a narrative, to make it feel like their personalities also aren't aiding the narrative for the media. It's not like Checo is going out and saying, that, like, it's just they're all treading it lightly. So it's hard to create a narrative that makes it like, oh, let's see what will happen this week. To create drama. I agree with what Imadi said about the suggestion to what do you call it? The tire deck, to make the tires not last as long, so more people go into the pits. That's what makes a race so interesting, how pit stops can change. And I think then, even with the tracks that we have now, if the aggregation of if the tires are softer, it probably reduces the range, then it means that they can there'll be like Amanda said, there'll be more strategies, but also when a safety car does happen or when there is a red flag, it makes it infinitely more interesting, and it just adds on to the dynamics of the race, and the order can be shuffled around. So yeah, that's my thoughts. But Regis, please, on this De Vries matter, you have to back your guy to the end. That's all I'm saying. You can't change your mind. You can't because it's looking like you want to jump ship. Please support
10
your guy. Me
races,
too. I
10,
also
10
support my own.
races. Don't forget. 10 races, please.
You are the one who increased it to Regis. You increased it from 5 to 10, please. 10 races. I'll meet you there. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you very much. Okay. Hey. Okay. Okay. Now, Hassan. Let's hear Hassan then. Please, while moving on to the rest of it, at least let's just skip touch. Let's just call their names and then move. Yeah. Hassan, please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, boss.
Okay. So I'm just joining, so you guys can move on to the grid after I talk about the top guys first. So I want to just reply the Nick DeVries fan. I didn't know we actually have a Nick DeVries fan in this space. I just want to say congratulations to your guy on being the oldest rookie in Formula One. To be honest, yeah, when this guy was actually coming into F1, I thought this guy was young, 21 something. Only for me to be looking this guy up the other day, and this guy is 28. This guy is the only rookie in Formula One that is older than me. And I was just like, this is not possible because all the other guys are born in year 2000, all of that. But this nigga is 28. I said, okay, this is a rookie in Formula One. And Yuki Tsunoda is there, bullying him on a daily basis, finishing in the points, all of that. So when you come and tell me that you can Nick DeVries fan,
Everyone has their
Daniel Ricciardo
timeline.
fans were there last season. I roasted them, but Nick DeVries, it's only
Every
pity I can really offer you guys.
Everybody has their timeline.
Okay. Another set of fans are the prince of I am stupid fans, Charles Leclerc, boys and girls. What was your driver doing today exactly? And what was he doing yesterday? What is he doing? What is going on with him? Because we saw the real Ferrari team lead today, Carlos Sainz. We saw where he finished. We saw what he did, and all of that. I still don't understand what Charles Leclerc did. Because at the end of the day, he ended up getting overtaken by one tractor Mercedes close to the end of the race. And I'm not getting it. It's not strategy this time. It's not the team principle this time. It's not the track this time. So what is the issue this time? Since we don't have any excuses anymore. Thank you.
This brother just called the Mercedes a tractor. Mad though.
Okay.
But when they were cooking us, when people were insulting us that our car is slow, I don't understand though. I'm confused.
No, but he's a Mercedes fan, isn't he?
That car is not slow. You guys are not getting that car is not slow. It's just that it does not have the pace to push Red Bull. That's just the difference. People see Mercedes as a well-oiled team that's they are a very compact organization that they believe that they are well oiled, they are well funded, they can do something they are meant to do, but they are not doing that at the moment. It's not the car is slow, that car is not slow, that car has pace. Today I actually watched the difference between Fernando Alonso and George Russell. He was actually catching up to him. He at the latter stage of the race because as at a time he was 8.7 seconds clear of him. Then as time was going, it was going to 6.4, 6.3, 6.2. So that car is not actually slow. Just that people feel slow because not to the level of Red Bull you get.
Yemi has reincarnated in God's
I was
will,
about to say that.
and that's actually very funny.
The car is not
And
slow. We just have
God's
to
will, for your
unlock it. We
information,
have to unlock the
this
pace.
when we started the race, I was actually on Lewis's onboard, and I can tell you, there are lots of things Lewis says that I genuinely maybe I believe it halfway, and I try as much as possible to find the rest. When he says he's not one with that car, I believe him 100% because on his onboard today, it was terrible. He was struggling seriously. Maybe it was the medium tires, maybe it was too much fuel, whatsoever it was. I was on his onboard from the start of the race, and he was struggling to pass a Haas. It was terrible, very, very terrible. He has no confidence in that car. So for you to say that car is not slow, I'm not saying it's fast, but are you trying? Are you fighting for fourth place? Are you not supposed to be fighting for the
Sorry.
title?
That ass car is very fast on the streets. That's what you need to realize. Apart from the Red Bull,
My
Sorry,
brother,
did you say the ass is fast?
yes, it's a fast on the streets.
On a straight line, yes, the horse
Yeah,
is
it's
faster.
fast on the streets. So what do you expect? Do you expect Lewis to pass? Can you imagine we're behind the Williams for over 8 laps? The Williams is also slippery on the streets, and we know Mercedes to be a draggy car. That car is draggy, so you don't expect Lewis to just automatically pass him. I was watching his onboard, and
Guy,
I would say if I was being
what I said was Lewis does not have confidence in that car under the brakes.
definitely
So
Lewis is
it's not about being in a straight line or anything. You don't only apply the brakes in a straight line. You apply the brakes when you're entering the corners. You apply the brakes when you're exiting. You apply the brakes multiple times. My point was Lewis doesn't have confidence
I
in that
understand
car.
what you're saying.
That's the point.
Just look at when we had the W11, like Lewis would just flick the wheel and the car will turn into where he wants to go. I understand the car is not giving him what he wants, but you guys need to realize that Mercedes is just bluffing. It's just plain bluff. That car is actually faster than what people think. Like if you watch from the beginning of the season, they were saying, my car is not fast, blah 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 blah. Blah. But you will be surprised. This car was entering P5, P6, P4, P3, P2. That's a car that is not fast would not go
I don't
into
understand,
that.
Godwin. Are you making a case for the Mercedes being a better car? I don't, because I'm
I mean,
confused.
the Mercedes is actually better than what people actually say. Like people are saying the car is a tractor. That car is not a tractor. A car that is a tractor, you can call what would I say? You can call a Ferrari a tractor, or you can call
Yeah,
let
but
me let me
I
not
don't think that the comparison is with regards, all the other teams, like the backmarkers. I think the comparison is, vis-a-vis what we know Mercedes to be, right? And the kind of performance that we have over the years. That's what the comparison is.
I understand, but
So we know that we are the fourth fastest,
we are
quote
not the
unquote
fourth
fourth
fast.
fastest.
We're not the fourth fastest. We are not
No, that's
on
why I
the
said quote.
one lap
That's
shootout
why I
on the
said quote unquote. That's why it's a personal fourth fastest. Arguably we can say third, but quote unquote fourth fastest, right? But yeah, I think the comparison is when you look at Mercedes vis-a-vis teams like Aston Martin, or we can't even compare with the Red Bull, but some days the Ferraris, doing better, some days they are not, so I think that's what the comparison is, not
I
with
know,
back
but
markers, but with
on
what
the
we
no
know that we are able to do, from over the years.
on the one lap shootout, I can comfortably say this year so far we are within fourth and third, but due to on race pace terms, we're not even the fourth, we're the second fastest because yes, I know Aston Martin sometimes may be ahead of us, but majority of this time it's just due to bad luck. If you seriously sit down and watch the race, it's just due to bad luck. We are constantly faster than them on the race pace, and I don't know
Constantly.
why. Yes,
No, I like that you're
constantly.
optimistic about the car. That's a
I'm
good
not being
thing.
optimistic. I'm not being optimistic. It's something that I see. I when I watch F1, I watch it with my distance. I used to keep all the data. Like I have this I watch I have this F1 TV. I have this multi view. I used to watch it. So I keep the data with me, and we are actually faster than these people. Ferrari is something that is a team that when it comes to a one lap shootouts, they are better than us. But when it comes to race pace, we're actually better than them. Aston Martin, we are actually better than them in terms of race pace. But the way Mercedes says that we are not this, we are not fast, it's just that we are not better than Red Bull currently. But I still feel we're second fastest team. That's the
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Gus Will. Okay, please in fact, anything Mercedes, anything top four is, please, let's forget about it. We'll meet later on. Moving down. Voila. House. Let's start with House. Quickly. K-Mag scored points, and after starting P4, obviously, I'm not sure anyone would have expected K-Mag to be anywhere, to even think of drinking champagne. Himself, I know he did not think of it, so yeah. But what I would say is at least he scored points, so he can eat Shipoli. If that's what they call it, because I don't know what they call it, but yeah. You can eat that to celebrate the points. But what's his name? Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg's race was a bit decent. I believe, First time in Miami as well. You know, after spinning in FP, I believe FP1 or FP2. I think FP1 or so, where he lost the race. But good recovery. You know, in terms of opportunities, obviously. Um, I think Hulkenberg at a point it was in a DRS train, so overtaking for him was not necessarily an option. But I think for Haas, where they finished, both cars finishing crossing the checkout flag, you know, which is a plus because Baku they had some sort of reliability issues, so both cars finishing is a plus for them. Another big plus for them is Magnussen at the points, and P15, regardless, is still very decent for them ahead of both McLarens, you know, and just what's his name? Hulkenberg just Albon just edged Hulkenberg you know, for P14. So yeah, decent weekend for Haas. Okay, yeah. So that's just my take. Daniela?
McLaren is what in terms of being on the well, when we said we talked about
Daniela
the top four.
Haas. Well,
Oh,
Haas. We'll
you
come to
want Haas
McLaren.
first?
Yeah.
Okay, Haas. Oh, I don't have anything to say about them. K-Mac did well. Sorry, I didn't mean it like that. You know me, I'm a supporter of Haas as a small team, you know, but later Gota has been wilding, so yes, but Haas, they have improved. At least Jean will not Gunter will not have to call Jean, and yeah, the only thing that's interesting is that Magnussen held his own against Charles when they were exchanging positions and fighting customer and the what do you call it, creator. They were just fighting over space on the track, but that was interesting to see. Shocking, but interesting. That's what I have to say about Haas. Thank you, admin.
Thank you very much, Daniela. And yeah, I forgot about that, but you know, impressive display from Magnussen. He's really fighting for that contract. They've given him challenge and he's up to it. So yeah. Okay. Anyone for Haas again? Okay. Okay, Hassan, Haas. Okay, go ahead.
I just want to mention that, like, at one point in time, Haas overtook their mother or senior or uncle team, and that was great because normally we drag Mercedes for being slower than Aston Martin sometimes, but we saw that same thing happen to Ferrari today, but nobody said anything. That's all.
I thought nobody talk because they are not Mercedes.
No, I think earlier in this space we spoke about it. You know, how embarrassing it was, and then yeah, but it's quite unfortunate. I think we spoke about how Leclerc could not just apply common sense this first time, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so, yeah. At the end of the day, some of us, when we learn, we don't. Some people learn some things one time, while other people you have to give multiple tutorials. You know, and Magnussen did that. Did that to what's his name again? Charles. You know, so yeah. Odun Wire.
Good evening, guys. First of all, I just want to say that the space has been very nice so far. And to respond to the speaker that said that why are we not talking about Magnussen frustrating Charles? I mean, there's nothing to say and compare it to Mercedes and Aston Martin. If the Aston Martin has consistently finished in front of Mercedes, then but today, even if Magnussen was frustrating Charles, Charles finished seventh. Magnussen finished, I think, was it 10th or 11th? So, but whenever somebody is frustrating somebody and they still finish above you, then what is there for us to say? So, yeah.
Please, we're talking about Haas. We're talking about Mercedes.
No,
House
no,
of the
but
back.
you brought them up now. You brought them up now. You
Please,
said
let's
that we
focus
talk
on the
about Aston
topic.
Martin and
Haas.
Mercedes.
As
We didn't talk about Magnussen and Ferrari, so I'm just
uh,
telling you now. You brought it up
Half
yourself now.
of the bench rice that's underneath the pot. Half of the back. Hey,
I
oh,
mean,
we have started.
we
Oh.
also Aston Martin last year now.
Mercedes, we have started. Oh.
We also Aston Martin last year. They were the pots last year now. The burnt jollof rice last year.
Nobody was the pot
So
more than Haas. Haas, stop it. Stop
As
it.
was bad in
Okay.
2021 now. That was what he did. So
Haas is the charcoal in the fire.
Okay. Let's just quickly, as you said, the let's start scraping. Let's start with the scraping of the pots. Williams, um, Logan Sargent, home. What they call him again?
Home race.
Home race, home boy, home whatever. They say he grew up in the backyard of the stadium, wherever he grew up. Or obviously, my issue is that when you come to all the rookie, especially if it's your first year, you are not in a good car. They should not be calling it home race. Oh, that pressure of being home race is just too much. See now, he was just lonely all race. It was just only God knows where he was just thinking. While down in P20, first lap, changed front wing, changed tire. Just it was just what sorry was Lati I said Latifi was the freeze part of the people that messed his race up.
Yeah, so lap one,
Well, he was part of the people.
he drove into the back of Lando Norris.
Wow.
Hmm.
Wow, you think he's drunk driving?
Oh,
No one
Okay.
is talking about how McLaren has fallen. No one is talking about it.
Sorry, bros, we are still on Williams. We're coming to McLaren. I'm trying to clear the scripts. So yeah,
But wait, speaking about Williams, I really feel like they've taken a step up. I don't know, but I really feel like the way their car performs this few races, it has been really impressive. Although I know they had some bit of miss up, like some bad days, but qualifying pace and race pace so far has been preferably good compared to last year, the years before. What do you guys think?
okay. Um, well, okay. Since Gospel has taken my role, I will just call on the speaker. So, Odunwaya and Daniela, please.
I just want to quickly respond to the last speaker about Two Williams. The thing with them is whenever you see like this good pace from them is we forget how slippery their car is, man. Like it's like as if their car sometimes does not even have drag. So whenever you see like all these good pace or something that is making you think they are doing well, the same thing we're seeing last year that we are seeing this year too. Their car is very very slippery, so they they have like insane straight line speed, but then every other part of the car is as stupid as it can be. So I don't think we're seeing anything positive for them. It's just sometimes they get like this good like lap times because of how fast their car can be on the straight. But then at the end of the day, it's still the Williams that we know and Alex Albon trying his best to like put it where it shouldn't be in the first place.
I agree. I think like with Williams, I think what they need to work on is how their car moves forward. With these lower teams, like obviously with Haas, what we saw is that when they start higher out of their position, they slip further down. Whereas with Williams, even though they started a bit further up out of position with Alex Albon, they only act as blockers or they act at the start of the DRS train. There's no real movement forward to at least with AlphaTauri. Look at Yuki Tsunoda that came, ended up P11, like able to move up at least to maybe compete for the points. Has also they start out of place and then they drop or maybe coming out of their own to maybe try and fight for the points as has happened in other races. But with Williams, that necessarily isn't happening. And maybe they need to work on I'm not an engineer, but how they move, how they get the car to move forward and how they compete with the teams around them to at least be in the fight for the last, for P10, for P9. That's my thoughts on Williams.
Okay, Hassan.
I think you guys are ignoring the fact that their team principal was literally saying the other day that he's surprised how Williams actually have a car because they actually like a lot of the basic things that he would use in Mercedes to build a car. But that's just like an offbeat comparison of like a super team to a small team. But he's also talking about the fact that, like, literally, in terms of development, they are way too far behind because of their lack of technology, lack of stuff, all of that. So to really help Williams is only money. It's only money that can help them or fix their situation, anything like that. I mean, we can see what money did to Haas. Like they finally reached the budget cap last year in coming into this year. And look at where they are now. I think if Williams can see money like that, the what's it called? The midfield would actually be way more competitive than what it is currently. Yeah, hopefully American guys can actually come in since Logan Sargent is there.
Okay. The homeboy, king of the streets.
Yeah, for Williams, maybe KFC or Burger King. Since we already have Chipotle, then they should just locate another. You know, I agree, Hassan. That was a very good idea.
Thank you, Daniela. Okay. Still on Williams. Anyone? Okay. Okay. Let's move on to Alpha Romero. Don't worry, we're still coming to some of the midfield teams. Alpha Romero. Well, Joe. I'm not even going to lie. I only saw Joe in the morning. Sorry, not in the morning, but when I mean the morning, like when the how do you say it? When the whole procession started, you understand? I did not necessarily see him on track, so I cannot categorically um give an opinion on Joe. But as the result says P16, I'm sure he must have done his best, being ahead of the McLarens. But Bottas at a point, I don't know what happened to Bottas, because at a point he was still running in the points. Then all of a sudden gradually dropped. So I don't know if it's well, let's say if it was just the normality, or there was a bit of an issue, or probably tired egg. But I'm not sure what happened to Bottas. But regardless, it's still a very good race for Bottas as compared to the beginning of the season. One of his best weekends so far. So credit to Bottas. I believe he just focus. Keep all those distractions aside. Obviously, I know we have a bit of a week break, but we should be in the same for Imola. Hopefully they can score points there. Leave ticket selling and all this, and wine testing and all this shit for now. This one will come later. But yeah, we should focus on Imola, and then hopefully he'll be able to score points. Yeah. But now these days, scoring points is difficult because wow, it's quite difficult though. But yeah, okay. Yeah, congrats to Bottas. Yeah, he's gonna have a good night's sleep. So yeah, okay, let's have Miss Catrock then and Godswill and Odunwaya, please. Thank you guys.
So Bottas was running in the midfield like at 10, and he stayed there for a very long time. But what happened to him is when he had to pit, he came out in the traffic at the back, and then he wasn't able to navigate himself out of that position back to the middle of the grid because he was stuck in a very long DRS train. So that's what happened to him.
Well, thank you, Miss Catrock. Thank you for that. Okay, Godswill.
Okay, concerning Alpha Romeo,
Uh,
although
Godswill, please just up your mic a bit, up your voice.
okay, I said concerning Alpha Romeo, I feel like although we all know they are using a Ferrari power unit, so maybe they are actually afraid of blowing up their power units. The Ferrari power units can be very funny sometimes. So I just feel like these few races they haven't been that midfield team that maybe we should have seen them going up in order, because there are some races I actually feel like Alfa Romeo should have done better, but I did not really see them doing what I expected. So it's all down to the power unit, like um Giovinazzi said. He said it's all down to the power unit. So I actually feel like they don't feel that power unit is reliable enough to give them what they want. That's what I just feel about them.
Thank you very much, Godswin. Honorable, please.
I just wanted to quickly emphasize on how hard it is to score points. That I agree with you. Like, because that's why I said earlier that Red Bull is what is making everybody think like, oh, there's there's some sort of lack of competition. But if you think about it and like you check the results from like the first five races, it's been very, very mixed. And I think this is the first time that we have like point scorers from all 10 teams in like the first five races or so. I don't know if it's all 10 teams or I know that there's some special something that has happened so far this year. And it's just Red Bulls, like, let me use the word domination, that is making us not see this thing. And that's why I said earlier that apart from whatever Max and Checo were doing in front, there was actually like some really good on track action. So it's really hard to score points this year because everybody is on it. Because I remember this race, I think there was a point where everyone was fighting for 10th or so, and they were like, "Oh, Hamilton and Ocon are fighting for 10th." But then at the end of the day, because they pitted into the medium tires, they were able to like overtake everybody. So it's just really hard to get points this year. So yeah, I just wanted to emphasize on that.
Thank you very much. All right. Thank you. Okay, Daniela.
Yeah, just on the point situation, yeah, every team has at least one construct. Every team has scored a point. So far in the season, we're only 5 races in. I don't know how that compares to other seasons. I'm sure that there were seasons where Williams or Haas they were on zero for a very, very long time, maybe the end of the season. So a bit well, maybe it's hard to score points because it's more competitive. As people are saying, the grade is actually closer than we think. So maybe lower down from the lower teams, there's more chance to score points and it will make it interesting for the end of the season. But yeah, that's what I have to say.
Thank you very much, Daniel. Okay. Okay. Anyone on Alpha Romero again? Okay. Okay. Well, coming back. Up now. Okay. Okay. Alpha Tari. I know we've spoken. At least in all the hours we've been here, we've used at least almost 45 minutes to devote on Nick DeFries. So, anything for Yuki? Any words of encouragement? Okay. So let me just quickly go through what Nick said. So Nick said after lap 1, I was on the back foot. It was my mistake. Always his mistake. I locked up on Norris and I touched. This compromised our first stint a little because there was a lot of vibrations on the right front which affected our pace. When you are so behind and out of DRS, you lose so much time on the straight that is so tough to catch up. I was at the back alone, so it's natural. It naturally becomes easier when you are not fighting as hard as in the middle of the pack, when every moment counts. The weekend went a little up and down and started difficult. Yesterday we had a better day, and today was a shame that we lost so many positions on the first lap. We are bringing updates to Imola, so hopefully we can improve and go on again.
Like,
Anyway,
what kind of long speech is that?
is that's it now. Apology speech have to very long. Nobody, if you apologize, nobody, if you just say sorry, will you take it as serious? But yeah, apology has to be very long. But well, he says it's mistake. But what my own understanding is that this sport, you cannot just there's like now, I'm sure in every organization, if you employ you today, you have probation period. You are making mistake, making mistake, making mistake. Within that probation period, your ass is gonna go home. You're gonna be, you're not gonna have a source of income. So now let's take our brother Nick. Nick, I don't know, but you cannot be making mistakes. You understand? These silly mistakes, you are costing the team money, you are wasting resources. So I believe obviously someone that has was it not leading team in Formula? Okay, yeah, it is. Anyway, different categories, different stages. But yeah. I believe as someone that has led a team, you should know how important it is to perform in a team, especially in a Formula One team. You know. So obviously I don't think Nick De Vries. I've not heard him that want to win championship. So that's fair. That's fair on my. At least that's fair from him. So what I just need him to do is he should not pick up the pace. All those conservative driving that he's driving, he can't do it. You can't do it here. There's no energy saving here that you are saving energy. They don't do that here. There's no 5%, 6%, 3 laps to go. They don't do that here, Nick. Drive, push. See Max that gave you reference now. You are embarrassing him. You are embarrassing him. You know, so it's all this like I don't know. And as Hassan said, the oldest rookie. How old is he? 28?
28 though.
28.
28.
28. He's an Egbon now. 28 is he's not a young boy. He's not a kid. You understand? So he has to pick it up. You understand? And obviously Yuki as an individual has over time has shown himself and has proved himself that he's worthy of his AlphaTauri seat. You know, even though the team is not where they want to be now, close to the points P11, you know, so it's obvious that Nick has a lot to learn from Yuki. No Yuki doing the learning. Obviously, Yuki still has a lot to learn, but Yuki now his learning should be coming from. You should be learning what they are learning in Milton Keynes. Let Nick be learning what he has learned. So yeah. Anyways, we'll see in Imola. Maybe they said they will bring updates in Imola. Imola is home race. So home race. A la carte. Hey, this speech is going to be longer. Okay. No problem. AlphaTauri, please. Anyone want to chip in? Okay. Daniela, please go ahead.
I mean, please, the message that you read, all this we. Who is we? Who is the we? We made mistake. Our race was. Who is our?
No,
Please,
to be fair, not say we said I was on the baffle. It was my mistake. So fair to yeah. I
okay,
even said
correct.
I looked up and I touched everything.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So his maturity in taking responsibility for being at the back. That's what he meant at the start of the season. Maturity for taking responsibility and being at the back. Yes, Nick De Vries, I'm unimpressed. And also when admin mentioned that, if you don't perform, you have to go back home. I hope that home is not to Mercedes, because we have really dodged a bullet. I don't think there's a space for him to come back personally, unless of course maybe he's going back to Formula E and to represent us there. But not. I don't even think reserve driver in Formula One is up for discussion again, because I don't know. He has not impressed as AlphaTauri at all. So I don't know. It's not up to me. It's up to Boss Toto to whether he will accept him back as reserve driver. But I personally don't see anything he has done in AlphaTauri. Maybe it's only the start of the season. As people keep reminding me, they said we should wait 10 races. We should wait until the end. So maybe he can turn it around. But he needs to turn it around. because it's not every week that people should be kicking your name. And also, what's wrong with people who are called Nick, Nicolas Latifi, Nick DeVries? Somehow these people, their names, I don't know, maybe it's their name, I don't know. I don't understand. My child can never be called Nicholas. My child will never be called. It's not possible. Whether you spell it Nicko, Nycko, it's just not. It's really not giving. Honestly, we needed when Latifi left. We were sad. Let's not lie. We were sad. We were like, who we call upon to to bring banter, to bring jokes, to bring vibes. And I think Nick DeVries is the perfect candidate. Who we can rely upon. We just need to give him time to continue driving into certain corners and going wide in certain places and crashing into barriers. Oh, it's like as if him and Nicholas, they have some WhatsApp call. Maybe Nicholas is training him to take his position. But it's nice to see that, we'll not lose this type of personality in F1. When people like Nick, the types of Nicks are around that we have in Formula One. Big up Yuki. Yuki is doing what he can do. What will be interesting, what Yuki can do is capitalize on his teammates' lack of maturity. He can capitalize on it. So where the AlphaTauri is not meant to be, that's what Yuki just being P11 will not make anybody notice him. Yes, he's doing the best he can, but the way he can move forward in his career, possibly move to another team, is if he starts to put, that's a George Russell type thing, starts to put the AlphaTauri where it's not meant to be. It's a tall order, it's a hard ask because the car is not where it needs to be, but maybe that's what will get him noticed, and that was maybe even put more pressure on Nick DeVries. But yeah, AlphaTauri, where are they in the standings? AlphaTauri, only 2 points. And all the 2 points is only Tsunoda who got it. So they are 9th. Yeah, let's see. Maybe Haas is what? P8. So let's see if maybe maybe Yuki's goal is to try and at least get them to Haas. Then people will say, look at Yuki, all the work he has done by himself, the risk was nowhere. Then we can see what's up for Yuki in the future. That's my only thoughts on Nick DeVries. I personally look forward to cooking him throughout the whole season. I think that's my funniest highlight in terms of jokes and banter is Nick DeVries. He's the biggest joker in Formula One at the moment, and we look forward to seeing him on the racetrack at the back so we can write our joke. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Daniela. Sorry, let me just. Alright, I know you want to say something, but let me quickly say something. Just a suggestion for Red Bull, because now if some Regis has said on this piece we should give Nick DeVries till round 10. That's Austria. If Nick DeVries does not perform by after Canada, my suggestion would be that every race weekend now, he should be swapping with Ricardo. Ricardo will do Silverstone. He will do Budapest. Ricardo will do, what do you call it, Spa. Then he will not do his own race. What do you call that place? Zandvoort. Ricardo will do Monza. He will not do Singapore, like that. Let them be swapping it so that Ricardo himself is collecting salary, so that he will not be lazing about on the side. Let everybody be be up to par, because I don't understand what's going on with Nick DeVries. Since he does not want to be serious with his seat, then maybe that one, maybe if they are alternating the seat like that, his mind will be, his BP will be up, that yes, his seat is about to go. But yeah, that's just my take. All right, please go ahead.
First of all, I don't think Nick DeVries understands that he's driving for a team where Motmako makes the decisions regarding drivers. Because let's just like crunch numbers. There has been 5 races so far this season. Yeah, DeVries has DNF'd in 2. He has finished 14th out of 17 finishers in 1. He has finished dead last in 1. And today's race, he finished 18th, but 19th and 20th finished a lap down. And I don't think he understands how ruthless Motmako can be, because let's look at Daniel Viat that Max replaced. He replaced him after 5 races. Gasly did not reach half his season before they sent him away. Albon, they first gave him 1 year half season. Motmako got annoyed and told him to go. So, and I don't think he understands how how ruthless they can be. Because even Yuki, let's use Yuki as an example. Yuki was living in England, and they were like, "What are you doing? This your performance is not good enough," and they told him to move to Italy just so he can be better. So that's my problem with De Vries, because I don't think he's a serious person. Because since last year, even with this his age thing, last year when I think it was Williams that he did his first young driver program for, and all I could think about was, how are you doing young driver program at 27? Like, that does not even make any sense at all. Like, you are older than both drivers in the team, and they are saying that, oh, you are their young driver testing person for this weekend. So I've not I found it hard to take him as a serious driver, and I think it's just because Albon had that surgery, and that's why everybody got like, oh yeah, maybe this guy is good because he got first points. So, but my point is just that I don't think he knows the ruthlessness of Motmako. That's because, like you said, that Red Bull, they will say alternative this thing. Like, you could have said that as a joke, but I'm very sure that's what will happen. And it's not like they're alternating. They will just tell the referees to go back in, and Ricardo will finish the season at AlphaTauri. And next year they'll get somebody from maybe F2 or F3, that's is, or maybe they'll just tell Graham Nelson to come. So that's how I see it happening. I don't think the referee is going to finish the season at AlphaTauri.
Thank you very much. Alright. Okay, let me see if sorry, Kingston, did you
No
want to
one's
say
as
something?
fast as me, bro. Just tell them to give it up.
Sorry? Okay.
I only speak once. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay, now moving on. Moving on. Sorry about that. Well, we just quickly, we still have McLaren. No, Alpine. Alpine. Anyway, Alpine. I don't think anyone. I've said it all. Their, what do you call it? Their team principal. It should be saying, first of all, before it talks about anything car, engine, aerodynamic, it should first be saying the truth. You understand? That's Otman's problem. He's not fond of saying the truth. And it's not, he will just be opening his mouth, running his mouth. Oh, we're going to be competing for P2. Okay. No wahala. But yeah, I don't have anything to say. I'll pin PSP P9 Abby. A decent recovery from where they were last week, But yeah, nothing more. Let's see what they can do in Baku, So yeah. Anyone on Alpine? Okay.
Me.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, Miss Catherine, then Hassan.
Oh, Ocon. He was doing really well today. I'm gonna have to give him his props. Like, he really defended his position, and didn't he finish in the points? I think he finished in the points, and I was quite impressed because I was thinking, oh, is he gonna drop down the order? But he was sticking and not moving and defending really, really well. So yeah, well done them.
Thank you, Miss Catherine. Yeah, I think
I'm gonna call him consistent.
Thank you, Miss Catherine. So yeah, okay, Hassan, let's hear you, please.
Yeah, so I'm just disappointed with Alpine because I've not been seeing the drama that I was hoping for between the two drivers. I was promised a Nico Rosberg versus Lewis Hamilton type of situation, but it's just been calm so far. There's literally been nothing apart from, I think, that one race between.
They've been having a love fest. Haven't you seen?
Yes,
They've
they
been
went
doing
back to
all
their old
like
track. They
little
went to
PR
reminisce.
things together about this is great. Went back to their hometown. I was like, what is this?
Yeah,
Hassan, who promised you chaos? Who promised you chaos? That's the
They're
question.
loving each other,
What do
so forget about
I
it.
that before they gave him I don't understand why
Uh,
oh, well.
so, Hassan, I think you're breaking up.
Ah,
Uh, Hassan, do you want to try and speak again?
nah, I'm done.
Oh, it's not you're not breaking up. Okay. Okay, no while. Okay. Moving on quickly, last but not the least. Well, they actually last, or they were one of the last. What do they call them again? Zach's boys. What they call the senior one? Lando, yeah, Lando and Oscar. You know, I don't know. McLaren coming into what do you call that place? Azerbaijan last week. It was as McLaren, the upgrades are working, the upgrades. This is the car they were meant to bring in Bahrain. Across the Atlantic, a week after, I don't know what's going on. You know, there's no pace. You know, even De Vries have the F13 to overtake Piastri. He even put it there in his press debrief that the overtake for Oscar. You have the F13 to say it. So this shows you that McLaren, they have a serious underlying issue. It's not just to be sacking and be employing people. You understand? I don't know. I don't know. This is James Key. James Key, has he not gone or is he there? Can someone confirm for me, please? Because the person that built the car, they've sacked him. Now, if that's why I want to confirm whether he's still there, because now, anyway, I'm sure there will be a bit of notice period and all of that stuff. But yeah, but what I'm trying to say is that the person that obviously that is the designer of the car, his input is no longer or rather, as the designer of the car, you will expect that okay, his input will still be in, in whatever upgrades they are bringing. But the upgrades they brought last week maybe was more track specific, but this week I'm sorry, it's not it for McLaren. But yeah, let's see what happens in Imola. Everybody is saying Imola. It's just like the coming of Christ. Imola. Let's see what happens there. But yeah, it's a sad weekend for McLaren in all. But yeah, that's just my personal take. Okay, let's have Hassan and Daniela, please.
And maybe McLaren want to try, Chat GPT for their next lead designer. It might work out at the end of the day. You never know.
Hassan, oh, actually,
So anyway, that will be cheaper. It's just $20 as compared to the money you pay for. You pay the people the six. I mean, how many technical people do you employ? I think like now they're like 12 to build one car. But other things are having like one person, two people. Red Bull have one head split into six. Okay, no problem. Anyone's Daniela, do you want to chip in on the McLaren?
so remember, I was the one who shouted McLaren. Because when we said we were, first of all, what has happened is when we said we are moving on from the top four, we hadn't even mentioned their name. The whole race, I think I saw them twice. And all the twice I saw them, it was to tell me that Oscar's car has a software issue. This is not Williams where they don't have the software. They said they have the software, it's not working or something like that. And then it was to see people overtaking. That's all I saw of McLaren. Then I can confirm that James Key, yes, he has departed. As of March 2023, 31st of March, end of March, Zach Brown was saying that we are not happy, and we are now in May. So by all means, he's not there. Whatever notice period has now gone. He's not there. The builder of the car, Bob the builder, have left the building. They can't fix it. I don't understand. And the only reason why McLaren is even further up in the is because of that last race. So they are not further up on merit. Oh. That last race, I don't think it was like they did anything extraordinary, because if they had, would have said it was the chaos of the red flag that they ended up. Other than that, they would have been at no point at they would have McLaren have swapped places with Haas. Yay, Zach Brown. Zach Brown wanted to use driver markets to do entertainment. How is he going to sit in front of Drive to Survive camera now and be smiling and be bragging and be showing us factory and be showing us that his big office? How? No, the shame is too much. It's not possible. They need to turn it around, and then all over Twitter, people are just saying, I'm checking in on the McLaren fans. How are you doing? People are running therapy spaces for McLaren fans. It's
I
really
actually
something.
wonder how Oscar feels. I'd
How
like
does
to know how
after
he
all
feels.
that's my next point in Bong. You said you are not driving for Alpine, but Alpine finished P8 and P9. You are languishing in P18. You said Davis put invested millions in you, and you said no. I'm going to the cool Zach that promised your seat to everybody in this world. You signed and now you are there. And then Daniel Ricciardo has collected their 80 million. Daniel Ricciardo, he's chilling. He went to the Met Gala. He
No
went to the
kind
Met
of
Gala.
slander.
What? Daniel Ricciardo, you have collect money that's meant for the development of the car. Now they are recycling their sponsors on the car. They are using to do the they can. Oh no, the downfall of McLaren is not good. It's not good. I hope they fix the issue. Lando's destiny has been tied to this team. I don't know. Maybe he too is going to cost them another 80 million to break. Hey. Maybe that's how they'll make the 80 million back. Lando will say, give us 80 million so you can go. Maybe that's how they'll make it back. Yes. Yeah, McLaren are in trouble because it's only a matter of these 14 points won't protect them. It's only a matter of time before these lower teams start getting, even if they're only getting P7, P8, P9, P10. It's only a matter of time before they come and pass them, and then they'll be at the bottom. Hey, from saying that we are fighting for P3, and Zach Brown, what's he saying? He's not, because Zach Brown, you can't just be firing people. Oh, everybody can be the problem apart from you. You are team principal. The back stops with you. Team principal, is he and CEO or somebody else is CEO? Anyway, those are my thoughts on McLaren. Very sad. Oscar Piastri, maybe rethinking his future. And on to the next. Like we said, we are with the second coming of Christ at Imola to see what happens with all the teams, because everybody's hoping that an upgrade will be. But if everybody's upgrading, that we not all upgrading to the same place that we were. Anyway, let me not. Let's not go down that route.
I don't know why.
Keep McLaren in your prayers.
I don't know why people are just so concerned about Imola. Imola will come. Everyone will still perform as shit. Nobody will close to Red Bull.
Did the McLaren say that they brought upgrades to this race?
No, to the last one. Oh, they said the last car. I don't know whether they left the car in
I swear they were on
Azerbaijan.
the list of people that brought upgrades. But my question is Nick De Vries the new Latifi? That's what I'm wondering. Because Lando was minding his own business and he just run into the back of him for no reason.
Drunk driving.
Like, what? It's the beginning of the race. They hadn't even gone far. Like,
And
why
it's
you
Lewis that
into
they
the back?
summoned for drag test. Oh, it's Lewis that they summoned. They should also call De Vries. They should also call De Vries.
Okay, let's have a Odunwaya. Thank you.
Yeah, I have actually been waiting for us to talk about McLaren. First of all, I want to say I'm happy that we are not much on the space, because I want to say something. I will never doubt Lando Norris and how he can extract more than whatever the car can give him. And I'm going to say it now that McLaren is not going to finish lower than P6 in the Constructors' Championship at the end of the year. And if that happens or when that happens, it's going to be because of Lando. Because if you can remember well, like Baku, like the last race, I think he qualified sixth and he finished ninth. And we all know that McLaren is a tractor. So whatever that he did that race, he just needs to do it like 3, 4 times over the year, and I doubt they are going to finish lower than P6 because we're also forgetting that what's his name Mafatari. He's always know that he's bringing points for them, and that's ninth or tenth. Williams is Albon, so I just doubt that they're going to finish lower than P6 as the year goes on, like when the championship is over, and then I don't know how long Lando's contract is with McLaren, but I think that they are a sinking ship. I don't see any way forward for them. So Lando should just, if he has to buy himself out, I think he should give the team. And yeah, is I don't know if they plan on bringing upgrades to Imola, because I try to follow McLaren as much as I can. I know that the only upgrades that they had announced was the one they brought at Baku. So to answer the person that asked if they had upgrades coming for Imola, I don't know. I don't know if they do. And yeah, I don't see them finishing lower than P6 come the end of the year. And yeah, that's all.
Thank you very much, Ore. Lando Norris. So his contract ends at his contract runs to the end of 2025. So meaning it's Lamba is there for a long period of time.
And when does Checo's contract end? 2024.
That was 2020. Checo is not 2 years. Yeah, 2025.
Okay,
Checo
okay.
signed.
I have
Checo
I have
signed last.
I have a plan for Lando.
No, sorry, Checo. No, Checo is end of 2020. Checo signed after Monaco now, so Checo is 2 years. So that's the end of 2024.
Okay. No worries.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
so Checo is
I'll,
1 year. Is
I'll,
he already 1 year in? I don't know.
I'll say if possible, Red Bull should go and pay the money and bring him. So
Lando's
Okay.
father
My
can buy him out.
condolences to anybody who puts Max Verstappen and Lando Norris in the same team. I just extend my condolences to
yeah,
them. Okay.
yes. Now that's the kind of chaos that Ocon and Gasly promised us, and see where we are. So we need that chaos in Formula One at least.
Anyways, okay, Miss Catrock, do you want to go ahead?
I want to put Lando on fraud watch. I know that everybody keeps going on about him being a generational talent, and I'm here to say it's BS. And I'm saying it with my chest.
Wait, I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry. Can I ask you why you don't think he's a generational talent?
Because he is, as you know, how I say that some people is kinetic energy. That's what he is. All this potential that people keep going about, and I don't never see nothing from the potential.
All right, fair enough.
I don't know about generational talent. The generational talent will be reaching for Lando.
Do you people know how long a generation is? A
Lando Norris
generation
is just a
is 40.
Lando Norris is just a British overhyped piece of
Thank
garbage.
you. He is hyped by Sky, powered by
Exactly.
Sky
I
F1.
don't I don't see I don't see anything
That's what
special
it
about
is.
him. It's just overhyped.
And this Lando by himself is meant to take McLaren from where they are to keep third. Alpine is behind them 14 points.
I
Haas
can
is
remember
8
when
points.
I can remember when Carlos Sainz was in McLaren, he usually beat his ass. Like Carlos Sainz was overperforming. I don't see Lando Norris doing what Carlos Sainz did.
Yeah,
And besides, he
but
was
when Lando and Sainz were at McLaren, how long had Sainz spent in Formula One, and how long had Lando spent in Formula One?
although Sainz has been in Formula One for a long time. I think since 2014, compared to with what's the name of this Red Bull Junior team compared to Lando. But Lando, although they called him an F2 champion, but I don't see any difference. Like the guy is just Sky Sports. You know this British bias when they will hype their drivers. Hey, my driver, that I just feel like that was what they have just been doing to him. I don't see anything special, like maybe he could have pulled off something big. No, so just all about the hype.
I don't think Lando is hype, but I just pray that he gets a
Lando is hype,
proper.
like guy. You see what he
No,
drives,
I
like
don't. That's the thing. I don't think it's something that like it should warrant an argument. But I just hope he gets a proper team, and then we can see
okay.
his we can
Now
see
what we're going to
his
say,
talent.
McLaren was. I hope you know McLaren was a proper team 2 years ago. I hope you're aware of that.
That's what I was about to say. A proper team, but he's in a proper team,
I hope you. I hope
and
you
you
know
just said
McLaren
that.
was a
Wait,
proper team last year.
2 years ago, it's 2021.
Yeah, I know you. I hope you know McLaren was a proper team last year. I hope you're aware of that.
And they finished. And why do you think that they were able to fight with Alpine last year? Just
Because they
because
were
of
a
one
proper
person,
team.
not because of that Ricciardo. And that's what I'm telling you. Because it was Lando that made them fight. You think if they had to Daniel Ricciardo, they would have finished fourth, or was it fourth or
Well,
fifth? They finished
McLaren
last
knew
year.
what they did with Daniel Ricciardo, but as far as I'm concerned, they have been a proper team for a very long time. So I don't know how all of a sudden people are not like this or that. But to me, Lando Norris is not really that guy.
Oh, boy, a lot of
He is
people will say
not.
it's not that guy today. Oh. God, I beg you. Okay. Okay. Well. Okay. We'll be closing this space in 5 minutes. So if you have anything you would like to share, opinion, um,
I wanted to ask you guys, what do people think about this Red Bull DRS? I don't know. I've been meaning to say it, like today something happened. I think when Max was about to overtake George, his speed went from, was it 315 to almost 350 kilometers. That's like almost 30 kph difference. Like I don't know if anyone understands that DRS effectiveness, but what is so special about that DRS that makes it different from other people?
no. First, okay. My own understanding of DRS is at least when DRS is active, is additional 20 something kilometers or so. But there's also slipstream and that is overtaking, and then the aerodynamics on that RB19 is second to none. You understand? So, I think is no one. I've not heard a definite answer from any of the pundits or any of um the usual F1 tech heads per se, but um, I guess okay. Or maybe you might have an answer since you're an RB fan, but yeah, that's just my thought. Go ahead, or
Oh, to be fair, you already answered him because if without DRS, we already have like an insane top speed because of our aerodynamics. So then when you add DRS and you add slipstream and you add other factors, considering the fact that our top speed is already insane regardless, what we are going to be DRS is just amplifying your top speed. So it's not
Okay.
about the DRS, it's about the top speed that we already had.
O- According to your logic, I was on this I have this group I'm following on Twitter where they used to discuss about the race and everything. Like they used to give out proper diagrams and all of that. Williams had a very good top speed, but plus the slipstream and slipstream, DRS, CRS, clipping, all of that, they weren't even close to what the Red Bull was pushing out. So that should
Yeah,
be a
and
very
that's where our own aerodynamics comes in. Like that is the long and short of it. Our aerodynamics is different from Williams. On Williams, oh yeah, like they have like insane top speed because their car is slippery. For us, nobody knows why we have insane top speed yet. But like just to answer your question about the DRS,
But are you
DRS
sure? Are you sure Red
right?
Bull is not doing what Ferrari did in 2019?
Christian.
That's what she
Give
started
him
from
a
the beginning.
January's email. So
That's what she started from the beginning. That you wanted to say that we have illegal engine or something.
No, no,
But
it's not. It's not being illegal. It's not. It's not about the illegal engine. Maybe there's a few flow. expected because it's very weird, like having 50 kph difference in overtaking George Russell, and George was also on DRS.
Well,
Like,
and see,
someone
and
should
yeah,
explain.
see, I understand what you're saying. You also have to factor in the fact that Mercedes is quite slow on the streets. So the difference would be because you're comparing Red Bull and Mercedes, two cars that they are on different sides of the spectrum when it comes to top speed. So that's why the difference is that large, and you're like, oh, why is it so
Okay,
much?
but we all know Mercedes as one of the people with the highest when it comes to top speed, or rather, I would say
Not,
balance
not,
between top speed
not,
and cornering
Not
speed.
this season,
not
not
this
this
season,
season,
not
Josh.
this season, not
But
last
but
season.
at least we
So
know Mercedes power engine as one of the highest. So that means, like, our
yeah,
power
but
engine,
yeah, but
our
that's the
our
thing.
power unit is good. But why are we not pushing like what Red Bull is doing? Like, because
Yeah,
They've
sometimes
been
because
I'll just
Mercedes
like,
has the same drag now. That's the problem. Like Mercedes drag is too high. And nobody, see, nobody knows why their drag is too high. Same way nobody knows why our own top speed is very high like that. No, the engineers not reveal their secret now. So
normally I know they will not review, because I know that one thing I know is that once that DRS of the Red Bull is activated, it's just like as if, no, it's just as if it's F1 car going against 20 engines. Like, till you all pass and pian, you no go see them again, and you no be able to catch it.
make
The way
make
they
una no
do,
vex, make una no vex, make una no vex. Don't worry. Very soon everybody will catch up.
they
It's
should look
normal, it
into they
happens.
should look into it. The FIA should look into that Red Bull car. That car is illegal. That car is an illegal
I
shit.
there's
swear I hope they
nothing
do. At
there's
least if
nothing
they do,
to
then
look
we'll not be
inside.
there for down now.
There's nothing to look inside. You're not working harder than Toto or Basel. So um I think what maybe let me maybe some of you guys don't know, but usually every race or every Grand Prix, um apart from the usual photographers, there are a different set of photographers which take pictures. So their job mainly is they are hired by different teams. So each team has a track photographer. So like probably in the situation of Mercedes Red Bull, um, or Aston Martin Red Bull, let me use that for example. Aston Martin is going to have a photographer that is going to always take pictures of the RB19 from every possible angle and send it back to the factory. So hence why they are able to, because usually these teams can't usually get close, or rather, what do you call it? Um, Probably only drivers, but other teams necessarily can team members can get close to the cars per se. So these photographers do that for the team. So I think if there's anything extraordinary to copy or anything extraordinary Red Bull have that other teams don't have, then I'm sure they would have seen it because everyone wants to be like Red Bull. Red Bull is the benchmark at the moment. So even we don't even know. Maybe at a point, Haas might have even said, okay, let's see what Red Bull is doing differently. Okay, let's see what Alfa Romero or Williams are doing differently. So yeah, that's how basically it works. So I feel if there's anything illegal about the car, they would have seen it. They did it with Racing Points now in when was it? Was it not during COVID time? So um if there's anything illegal, it will always come out. At the end of the day, this sport is very small and transparent. So yeah,
Yeah,
Daniel. Okay,
sorry,
all
just
right.
buttress on what you said. Because if I can remember well, in 2019 with this same Ferrari team, it wasn't even FIA that started like who wanted to investigate. I think it was Red Bull and Verstappen that were like, "There's something suspicious about this Ferrari team." So yeah, what admin said is true. That teams always like they if they feel like there's something to investigate, they would mention it and they would say, "You guys, you know what? Check this thing out." So 2019, I think it was Verstappen and Red Bull that were like, "Nah, Ferrari's engine up. Sorry, Ferrari's top speed is." There's something that they're doing that you guys need to investigate. So yeah.
The same thing with
Daniela.
Red Bull. They
Yeah, I
every
don't know
time they
if
say Red Bull aerodynamics is good, Red Bull blah 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 blah. But yeah, everybody is almost using the same aerodynamic package. Like it's the aerodynamics inside the body. Like I know aerodynamics of the car is supposed to be outside, but is it inside? Because everything that seems that is pushing out of that Red Bull seems like it's coming from the inside. So there should be more to that Red Bull than beyond the eye. So I don't know.
Yeah, Gosu, you are right. There is more to the Red Bull than the naked eye. In terms of when they take out the covers, there are other things that we don't see. You understand?
There's
So
more.
when aerodynamics is not just side pod or how the car necessarily looks. Sometimes it's the structure of how the mirror is being placed. For example, um, take for example now again another like Mercedes. They had this issue of Lewis's is it the seat positioning and all of that. So all
Yeah.
those
More seats.
little things, as they may sound, tend to have an effect. You understand? Like take speaking about what do you call it? Speaking about mirrors, Alpha Tari brought in a new mirror concept. I can't remember where they got the concept from, but the concept is meant to reduce drag. You understand? Which is which still falls under aerodynamics. So it's will I say it's personally as it's not what me I can go into detail and start explaining because me I'm not an engineer. I don't have that knowledge for all those one. You understand? But I will just say what I know and then yeah. So that's just a basic. So I think it's more than the naked eye and then there's more under the car that we don't see, and other teams don't necessarily see. But at the end of the day, there are regulations. It's how every team interprets the regulation. Uh, we as human beings, we all have different opinions. We all have what do you call it? Different views. So just the same way Mercedes does not have side pods, or the old grid has side pods, but they that don't have side pods are still doing better than some teams that have side pods. So at the end of the day, different interpretations, different engineering, different many basically in some way. So yeah. Okay, guys. I think that's it for the evening. Thank you very much to everyone. We'll be back again. Well, we might be back again for the weekend if there are some interesting things that happen. But if not, we'll be back again at in 2 weeks, I guess, which is Imola for the first European leg. So looking forward to that. Hopefully, it should be fun. Thank you everyone for joining us today. Thank you to Mother and Enobong for assisting. Thanks to everyone, Katro, Daniela, or thank you everyone, Godswill. Really appreciate every one of you, and wish you guys a great week ahead. And God bless you all. Have a good evening.